He's a star. Denise Warren's a wonderful trainer as well, and you're spot on. He went down to Victoria, ran second in a Group 2 behind Explicit, who, if Cumbria Jack isn't the best dog in Australia, Explicit may well be. Let's talk about Cumbria Jack. He comes up later in the program tonight. He's a really short price favourite, but Jared, I'm interested. The all-in market, is he still the on-topper for laddies?
Well, tonight, Simon, $1.50 into $1.35, so very, very short in this Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final. But yeah, looking at this futures market now, at the beginning of the series was a $15 chance with Ladbrokes into $4 to win the final next week, and one of the worst results again for the Ladbrokes book.
You also caught up with him during the week. Ladbrokes did a special with Steve Fitch, who, I know this has been said a couple of times, but a few months ago hadn't won a group race, and now he's got arguably the best kennel in the country. Tell us what it was like meeting Fitchy down there.
Absolutely flying, isn't he, Simon? Yeah, pretty much exactly what you said just before, is that if Cumbria Jack isn't the best dog in the country, he's not too sure what is. But of course, Ariza Sparkles as well, two very, very good greyhounds, two very, very good winning chances tonight and for the entire series as well.
Liz, we're still a fair way away from Cumbria Jack going around tonight. This is the sort of greyhound that brings casual fans through the gate, right? He captures the attention of people who maybe don't follow the dogs all the time. You look at that field, is there anything that you can see causing him any sort of issue? What's his biggest hindrance tonight if he's not going to win?
I can't see him being beaten here, to be honest. When the markets came out, I thought $1.50 was quite good money, to be honest. I think he's one that you can run through multis with some confidence tonight. I also caught up with Stephen Fitch during the week, and he said, you know, obviously it's his race to lose. Barring blowing the start or finding trouble, he should be winning.
Yeah, he's the joint track record holder here at Wentworth Park. As Jared Timms, Liz Whelan and myself, Simon Orchard, join you here for semi-final night of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Mick Cowley is trackside. We say a big hello to you, Mick.
Hello Simon, hello Liz, hello Jared. Fantastic night here. The weather is absolutely perfect. The atmosphere is fantastic. I struggled to get a parking spot, that's why I was running a bit late. We'll have a fantastic night with pre-race trainers. We'll have a chat, we'll try and find some winners, but I get the good job later. I get to interview them after they've won and got a spot in the $1 Million Chase final next week, so they get a shot at $1 million. So I'll be delighted about that. I'm sure we'll get some tears, some smiles, some laughs. We could get a cock a hoop depending on who actually does win. It's a big night on track too. We've also got the kicking competition. Not tonight, we've got the kicking competition next week, but come on down tonight, actually have a bit of a practice. 1 in 10 people next week could win that car. Fantastic Kia Tasman. Great opportunity. Come down tonight, have a bit of a practice. I can see the guys over there already kicking into a target. Well worth coming down and getting some work in tonight. But apart from that, we'll have a fantastic evening down here in the pen.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Mick Cowley trackside. He mentioned that Kia Tasman Ute, courtesy of Sydney City Kia. Guys, how good is this? The $1 Million Challenge. I know why you're laughing. You think there's a stitch-up coming, but I don't reckon we've got the footage of J-Bone kicking earlier in the week. Here we go. This is a couple of people just practising, trying to kick the footy down the straight. That's a pretty miserable effort. Here we go again. Oh, boy. Yep. There's our social media helper, Katie, having a go. And how do we assess this form, guys? This is a practice, of course, for next week, the $1 Million Challenge. All you need to do, if you're over 18, you buy a ticket before 5 p.m. on October 17 and you get drawn out at random. 10 people will get a chance to kick a footy 20 metres down this historic straight. If they land it in the back of the Kia Tasman, they drive it away. One car only. What do you think?
Outstanding. I remember this similar, we had this last year. You had to kick it about 50 metres into the smallest bin on the face of the plate.
And it was windy,
as well,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and Kia are actually giving the punters a chance of winning this tonight. So, well, next week. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing if they can pull it off.
There's a couple of our great ambassadors as well. James Tedesco and Mitch Moses. We announced that Mitch is joining the team in the last couple of weeks. Here we go. Here's Mitch Moses, and that's how you do it. Simple
Easy as that.
It was like watching Jared Timms on Wednesday. I tell you what, I was standing in the middle of Wentworth Park, and your footy nearly hit me in the head, mate, as it sailed on by. But there you go, kick the footy in the boot, and there's the car that you could win. Yeah, how good is this? Kia Tasman, all thanks to Sydney City Kia, Friday, 17th of October. If you're not coming down to watch the racing, come down and try and win a car. You mentioned last year, no one got within Cooee. This year, I reckon the car could drive out the gates. It's going to be a wonderful activation. Next week, trackside right here at Wentworth Park. And guys, this is the 8th edition of this wonderful race. We've seen dogs from all over the country now win. Last year, Blue Camaro was a hell of a story for Joshy Formosa and Ben Pert. They bought the dog for a pittance in around March, and then 6 months later, they're holding the cheque here. some memories of the $1 Million Chase and what it means to the community, our greyhound community, Liz?
And I think that's what I love about this race. You've mentioned last year's winner. I don't think a lot of people rated the dog going into the race, but did win. And I think that's what's magical. You know, this race goes out to the regions initially. You see all these brilliant dogs from all over the country lining up. And once you're in the semis, you know, you've got a 1 in 8 shot of getting through to the final, then you've got a 1 in 8 shot of winning $1 million in about 30 seconds here at Wentworth Park.
Yeah, how good is that? I tell you who was happy last year, Ladbrokes, because Blue Camaro would have had a lot of tickets written for him, right?
I was just about to say, Simon, yeah, glad that we've got Liz here doing the form this year, because just about the only one I couldn't make a case for was Blue Camaro when he came out and won very, very impressively.
Oh, he cost me the quaddie, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, good on him. Hey, let's try and find you some winners here tonight. We'll get into race number 1 on the program. It's the first heat of the Sydney Cup, first run in 1963. The race is worth $40,000 to the winner. Last year, taken out by Exploded and Jason McKay. Jared, give us a market courtesy of Ladbrokes.
Well, we've spoken about these Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-finals and how good the fields are, but these 2 heats for the Sydney Cup, Simon, are absolutely terrific as well. I think we're in for a really nice staying feature next week. Race number 1 here tonight. Late Night News is occupying your top line of betting here at Ladbrokes. It was a $2.50 chance earlier in the week into $2.20 now, and easily the worst result for the Ladbrokes book. Alakazam, who debuted at this meeting last year, actually, $4.40 into $3.80, $4.80 into $4.40 Suribachi. They are the 3 that the Ladbrokes punters want so far. Ahead of race number 1 here at Wentworth Park. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
And we'll take a look now at the speed map as we can see it there on screen. Number 3, Alakazam, likely to jump faster along with the 6, I'm Sally, and 8, Dairy out wide as well. But look, in terms of the runners here, Late Night News, the favourite, the deserved favourite as well, I think, here in the first, Simon.
Yeah, he's spot on. Hey, let's hear from Caroline Hughes. She trains Late Night News, and she caught up with Mick Cowley not long ago.
Caroline, congratulations on what this dog's done so far. What did you make of last week's run? Kind of got out late, just seemed to get in his own way a bit.
Oh, look, he does that, and that's just how the dog is. He's not a supersonic beginner, unfortunately. And I kind of just hope that the dogs that are in front of him run straight lines and don't sort of go to the left and go to the right, because then he sort of has to think about, oh, should I go around that dog? Should I go under that dog? And go, oh my God, stop thinking, Cody, just run. But that's how he is.
Overthinks
things, yes.
What did you make of tonight's field? Drawn out wide, you'll be back in the field, no doubt. Just looking for a bit of clear air?
Just looking for clear air, yeah. I sort of, when he leaves the boxes, I like him to be up close to 3rd position coming around that first turn when he leaves the boxes. If he gets too far back, he's just got to make up too much ground. When you've got good dogs out in front of him, you know, and we've got those in every race we strike, so, yeah.
I guess last week he was taking a lot of ground off Aiden's Warrior towards the finish. I think he was in front by the time he got to the pen.
Look, it was a sensational run home. I calculated his run home, which was 12:11, which some of the sprinters run that. Yeah, not the good ones, but, you know, like younger 500 metre dogs. So I went, wow, that was a super run home, but it's no good if you're sort of 10 off the leader like Aiden's Warrior. You know, we've got, you know, the little white Sputnik over here that you just interviewed. There's lots of them in the race. If they get out and lead, he's got to come from behind and do the work, so, and dodge traffic.
I guess tonight, it'd be great to win, but it's all important about getting through to next week.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Yeah, just a good run, and we're sort of proud of what he does. He's come a long way. He's a beautiful boy, so fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll talk to you after the race.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks,
Carol.
Thank you.
Carolyn Hughes there with Mick Cowley trackside. Let's get into this field. The one where Bale gets a run in the MDC semi, so it won't appear here. Go Jojo's a big price. Liz, tell us about Alakazam for Adam Crouch.
As we saw from the speed map, he's a dog who's likely to be up on the pace early. That's going to be the biggest chance for him here, but I still think that Late Night users are likely to be too good if he gets some luck.
The 4, Suribachi, had no luck, I reckon, last week behind Aiden's Warrior for Ruthie King.
I agree, and I absolutely loved her run behind Late Night News 2 starts ago. She was eating up the ground late, and I think she's a big winning chance here if anything does happen to Late Night News in terms of luck during the running.
Write your own ticket for the 5-box car Molly, currently $126 with Ladbrokes. I'm Sally's an interesting one, ran in the Association Cup back in April.
Yeah, look, she's gone a 41.84 here in the past, bearing in mind that Suribachi's gone 41.74, Late Night News has gone 41.60. She's another one well versed over the trip here at Wentworth Park, and look, I think she's a chance here potentially to fill first fours.
We just heard from Carolyn Hughes of Of course, Trev Barton usually does the handling duties. More wins than any other dog, more prize money too here. Fastest PB and loves Wenty.
Very, very hard to beat here in the first. Look, the one thing about him is he's not the easiest of watches in terms of his racing style, but he's got that class factor, and hopefully he'll be delivering for favourite punters here in the first.
Jared, where's the money trail ahead of race 1 at Wentworth Park tonight?
It's all about late night news here, Simon. Into even money now, just the sheer weight of interest. Your market mover as well.
Liz, who are you with?
Late night news here, clearly on top ahead of Surabachi. I've really liked her last couple of rounds.
Yeah, I'm with late night news as well. I reckon last week Aiden's Warrior just got out on the arm, a couple of roughies just got in the way, and all of a sudden it became hard work for late night news, didn't it? So late night news on top for me. Current $2 favourite, and market continues to support Surabachi, $4.40 on the second line of betting. Let's hand you over to Russell Veach for the first time tonight. Lastly, we'll get a market mover from Jared.
It's late night news, Simon. Into $2 now. Very, very well backed.
Now we will hand you over to Russell Veach. Have a good night of calling, Russ.
Good evening to Les, Jared, Simon and Nathan, and a big welcome to Wentworth Park for a massive 10-race program tonight. Coming up, 8 semi-finals of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase, and then, of course, the first 2 races tonight for the stayers for the $40,000 to the winner, Sydney Cup. Fielder 7 to run in the opening race of the night, favoured at $2 and backed in late night news. The Ron Hooksville Cup winner, $2.40 into $2. As runners are getting organised now, field of 7 to run in the first of 2 heats for the stayers tonight. Beautiful conditions for racing here this evening, 27 degrees. On a beautiful spring evening at headquarters, Harbour City Racing, Wentworth Park, and the green light is on. Semi-final night of the $1 Million Chase starts with the heats of the Sydney Cup, and here's the first of them. And they're racing, and out fast was late night news, and showing good speed as I'm Sally to take up the lead early from Alakazam in the second spot, 2 lengths away to Surabachi, and late night news 1 out 1 back, a break to go. Jojo and Derry sees them all down to the judge, a lap to go, and I'm Sally wheeling and dealing up by 2 lengths to Alakazam. Surabachi's nice and handy getting up on the rail, and here's late night news joining in, a breakaway to Derry, the dropped off Go Jojo down the back, and I'm Sally length clear. Late night news needs some room, then came Alakazam, followed by Surabachi to the home corner, though I'm Sally's kicked away, a couple in front. Late night news needs to find I'm Sally in front though, and I'm Sally beat late night news. Third into Surabachi, Derry qualifies, then came behind them was Alakazam, and one more Go Jojo, and failing to complete the course Boxcar Molly, and the time is 41.6. That's a rocket run from I'm Sally. That's a PB at start number 20 here. Win number 8, and she's gone all the way. Late night news popped off her back, couldn't run her down. And 3rd to 4, Surabachi in front of 8, Derry, who's qualified. Interim 6, 7, 4, 8. Winning margin 1.5 by 2. First split 5.33. 16, 16, 29.
And how's the time as well? 41.63. A margin on the line to late night news, who tried his best, but he tried in vain, Liz. That was a really strong win.
Yeah, that's been a terrific performance there. And as you say, the time as well, Simon, there, 41.63. She's done a great job. Late night news has tried to get there late, but she's just been too strong there.
Interesting. She went through the Association Cup Series, and according to my notes, she's only had 3 wins since then. And has just found a couple of better ones. I just wasn't sure if she was quite at the upper echelon of staying powers, but tonight, full credit to her. Got out on the arm. Late night news maybe struggled for a little bit of room in behind, and run second will get through to next week's final. Top 4 across the line, of course, go through to the Sydney Cup decider, the Group 2 event. But full credit to Beck Edinburgh and the team. I'm Sally, back in form and back in a big, big way. Last week won in 42.21. Tonight wins in 41.63. Let's have a look at the replay. So we can see there, Boxcar Molly goes out the back early, but from here, I'm Sally opens up a nice little lead. Alakazam, I reckon, Liz, maybe played just a bit of a spoiling role. You can see late night news getting to the outside now, and then he all of a sudden here just puts himself in a pocket.
Yeah, and look, when you've got a dog like I'm Sally running a time like she has in front, that makes it even harder, I guess, to make up that particular ground as well. There it looks as though late night news is going to get past. I'm Sally, there's a big size discrepancy as well. She's pretty small. She's only around 24 kg, so she's very small compared to some of these dogs in the field. I think based on this performance, she could be a really big winning hope in the final next week.
I'm Sally, late night news, Surabachi goes through, I think, as well as Derry, and Mick Cowley's trackside with Beck Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, congratulations. That's a fantastic performance.
Awesome.
You were here and over the moon when she won a heat of the Association Cup. She lost her confidence the week after, and you were just telling me then that there was drama on the way home that night.
Oh, crazy. A mad woman decided that she'd have a bit of a psychotic episode and smashed our car up. And just smashed us from Bathurst, from Kelso all the way into Bathurst, and Sally never travelled again after that. So it's been a long road. I actually spoke to a couple of local trainers to take her on, but I couldn't part with her. Only because she couldn't travel. It really distressed her that night. So, yeah.
Obviously things are working okay now. Win a few weeks ago, now win tonight.
That's right. And when she won last week, it wasn't the time the time was nothing, but I was more impressed with how she weaved through the other dogs to get to the front. So that shows she's got a bit of confidence back to be able to do that.
Absolutely, and she looked good in front tonight.
Oh, I couldn't believe she was in front. I was stoked, absolutely stoked. I'm shaking, look.
No, that's okay. Good luck in the next race, and we may talk to you after that.
Oh, I hope so.
Thanks, Beck.
Thank you very much. Ta-da.
What a great yarn. How good is that? That's why we love our greyhound participants. Beck Edinburgh just said there, I couldn't part with her. She's my beautiful little girl. Let's have a look at her go again. Gee, she jumped well, and as soon as she got to the front, it wasn't all over by the shouting, but it made it really difficult for the chasing field, didn't it, Liz?
It did make it hard for the chasing field, and look, it's exciting when you've got a front runner. I think in a race like this, you could see what it meant to her, and that's the thing about nights like these as well. It's a huge opportunity for some of these trainers and the owners as well to be here on the big stage, and next week as well, it's going to be even bigger.
Yeah, you're spot on. She went through that Association Cup heat. She actually won the heat of that event back in April, around 41.84. So tonight, to go, what, 2 or 3 lengths quicker, and it's about here. Late Night News just flattened out a little bit. Alakazam hadn't had a lot of racing in recent times. That's why he sort of tailed off. And Sarah Barchi, as always, hits the line well and is a bit of a promising black booker for next time. But well done, I'm Sally. Jared, can we get some divvies there from Ladbrokes?
Ended up going off a $7 chance. I'm Sally in race number 1 here at Ladbrokes, Simon. So a nice little start to the evening for those Ladbrokes punters that did manage to find her.
Yeah, spot on. So they're the first 4 across the line in race number 1 here at Wentworth Park tonight. They, of course, will go through to next week's Group 2 Sydney Cup final, worth $40,000 to the winner. Let's have a quick look at race number 2. It's the second heat, just the 2 for the Sydney Cup here tonight. And gee, Firethorn has been the talk of the Northern Rivers for the last couple of months in particular. Mark Moroney's got a really special one there who's broken a couple of track records around the place. Without a Trace is an interesting runner from Victoria who's come up for Pete Prosciutto, who had a great night here a few years ago winning the Futurity. And Aiden's Warrior, well, if you like the form of Late Night News, Aiden's Warrior beat him pretty convincingly last week. Needs a decent price as well. Let's take a quick break. The Group 2 Sydney Cup heat coming back in 14 minutes from Wentworth Park right here on Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final night.
Hey guys, Teddy and Mitch here, and Dogs are giving you a chance to win a Kia Tasman Ute worth over $50,000.
Just get down to Wentworth Park on $1 Million Chase night, kick the footy in the boot, and you can win.
Kick the footy in the boot and win a Kia Tasman Ute. Wentworth Park, Friday, October 17 at the $1 Million Chase.
That one. Did you get that one? That was first go as well.
Typical halfback.
How good is this? Collaboration with Sydney City Kia, of course. There it is, the brand new Kia Tasman Ute that we'll give away next Friday night, October 17, right here at Wentworth Park. Simon Orchard with you tonight on semi-final night. I'm joined by Liz, Whelan and Jared Timms. I want to go to you, Timsy, because you had a kick at the back of the Ute.
I didn't, Simon. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Roll the tape.
I wasn't here on Wednesday.
Can we throw that coverage somewhere?
I wish I've got it, don't you worry. I'll reveal all maybe next week because it was one of the worst. No, not the worst. I'll give you that.
Yeah, absolutely not one of the worst.
That's high praise.
Didn't see you have a crack, by the way. For a bloke that's apparently gone to 2 Olympics, cowardly performance.
I was fetching the balls because the media team just wanted to keep kicking. Gee whiz, not many went in the back of the Ute, I tell you much. But Mitch Moses was there. He spoke about his love of the greyhounds, and he's part of our team now. He's an ambassador for Greyhound Racing New South Wales and Greyhounds as pets. He joins his old roommate James Tedesco, of course, rugby league superstars. Liz, it's great to have people like this who care about our sport as much as we do, getting involved and spreading the message, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Both from a rehoming perspective, but also a racing perspective. Love having them here on track. Love having them just promoting what a great breed of animal and dog the greyhound is.
Yeah, they join a long list of wonderful ambassadors. Let's try and find you a winner. We're 0 from 1 through the first heat of the Sydney Cup. Let's bounce back in heat number 2. And I mentioned it before the break. If you joined us, thank you if you have. And if you're just tuning in, make sure you stay tuned to thedogs.com.au or Ladbrokes 2 throughout the night. Fire Thorn. Gee whiz, Mark Moroney has this girl flying. She's a star. Jared, can you give us a market update? Is Firethorn still on top?
Yeah, what a great little race this one is, Simon. Absolutely, Firethorn is certainly on top here in the Ladbrokes market, ahead of race number 2. One of the best back chasers on the program so far, in fact, at Ladbrokes as well, was a $2.10 chance when we went up earlier in the week into $1.90 now, and accounts for about 60% of the hold in the Ladbrokes market here ahead of race number 2. Without a trace, occupying your second line, just rock solid at this $3.20 quote. And Aiden's Warrior is the other one. They wanted early doors, but is a little bit of a drifter on race night. $4.20 out to $5.50 now. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
This is a really intriguing race, Liz. As you look through the speed map, I just want to ask you one quick question. Aiden's Warrior, genuine stayer yet or still emerging?
Look, I think he's still getting better, but I think you can already call him a genuine stayer. And as you mentioned before, he actually beat home Late Night News last start. We'll take a look at the speed map. Firethorn gets box 1, and she's also matched to be on the pace here, which makes her winning chances even greater here in race number 2. Poor Quinn be out wide, also mapped to be on the pace. Without a trace, I thought could potentially get quite a nice sit here, and for that reason I've got her on top here in race 2.
Yeah, I can't blame you either. She's a girl who went up and performed in the National Distance Group 1 event at the Q, and Pete Prosciutto, well, I still remember him running around here after he won the Futurity. I think he did the Quinella a couple of years ago with a couple of really good greyhounds. Idolise was the winner. Tonight he brings Without a Trace, and he caught up with Mick Cowley just a little bit earlier on.
Second heat of the Sydney Cup. I'm with Peter Prosciutto. Pete, Without a Trace. Travelled up today. How's she been?
She's been great. Travelled up really well. Didn't hear her all the way up there, so she's a natural at it. Feeling fantastic. So we'll see how she goes tonight.
She's got some great form on the board. Has she had a look here yet?
No, she didn't have a look. We were going to give her a look, but it's just the way it worked out as far as giving her a harder run leading in. I didn't want to give her a 700, so it was a 500, but I trialled her elsewhere. She went quite good. Strong run home, so she's fitness isn't a problem. So it's just a matter of whether she handles this tonight on that first corner. But hopefully the red gives her a card into the race and she can work into it.
It does look like it'll pan out nicely for her, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. You kind of look at it, you think that's how it's going to work out. It doesn't always work out that way, but hopefully that's how it goes tonight.
Now, was this something that just came up on the calendar, or was this something you did kind of target a bit?
No, trying to target the better race. This is a better race against the better dogs. We sort of missed the Ron Hawkswell. She needed that. She's had that hard program going in for quite a while, so missed that race, gave her a little bit of a let up, fixed a few things up. She freshened up. She seems to have really improved with that, so she's feeling good. So I think she needed it, so we're going to see tonight.
Without thinking too far ahead, you get through the final, you go back home, same thing next week, you come up on the day, all that sort of stuff?
Same thing, yeah, same thing. Drive home tonight, get home and prepare for next week, hopefully cross our fingers.
Have you done that previously, like with dogs like Idolise, bitches like Idolise?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, she travelled up quite well as well. And this bitch is very similar in that she travels well and relaxed. So once she gets out for the racing scene, she's switched on. But yeah, Idolise, it was a 2-week program was quite easy for her. The 3-week I found it a little bit harder for her, and that's why this week we didn't come up and trial. That was part of the reason as well. So she's got this week and next week hopefully.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Peter Prosciutto there with Mick Cowley trackside that he's got Without a Trace going around the second heat of the Sydney Cup. Welcome to the Dogs special coverage right here at Wentworth Park tonight. Let's get our way through the field as the greyhounds and their handlers start to make their way out. We'll start with the one, the on topper, $1.90 favourite, Firethorn for Mark Moroney. She is flying, Liz.
She is flying. She's been 41.85 here back in July. She's been going really good races in Brisbane lately. She's won 7 of her last 8 races, all over 700 metres plus. Box one, I think she's going to be leading here, and obviously, you know, she's favourite and she's a huge winning hope here.
She is boxed to lead. I reckon it was a couple of months ago she had a look here from the one and maybe didn't get out as well as she would have hoped. Let's see if she can turn that around tonight. The two, Without a Trace, is you're on top of. Tell us why.
Look, I think she's a huge winning hope here. We just heard from Peter, and last time out she lined up in the Group 1 National Distance Championship. As he said to me during the week, that was probably the one that got away because she was unlucky. She probably should have won that race. She's a really good traveller. She hasn't trolled her at Wentworth Park. He didn't seem too concerned. She went 34.10 with a hit out at Sandown over 600 metres about 10 days ago. Run home was strong, and I think that she can potentially finish over the top of Firethorn here.
Yeah, you mentioned that national distance race as well behind Ethanol Water, who is a star of the staying scene. So any dog that's on its tail is pretty good in my books. The 3, Mr. O'Brien for Glenn Bryan, 81 starts, just the 9 wins, but a lot of placings.
A lot of placings. He's nearly 4.5 years old now. He's the veteran of the field. He's had a solid preparation coming into the race with his last 7 starts being over 720 metres here at Wentworth Park. I prefer his box straw here today, but I think there's going to be a few that are too good for him.
$91 on laddies at the moment for Mr. O'Brien. Aiden's Warrior, very intriguing runner, a dog that was dominant at Dapto, especially over the middle distance through the winter. Country Classic finalist, didn't quite get enough luck on that night, but now up to the staying trip, and the kennel have wanted this for some time.
Look, and he's been showing that potential for a while as well. As you say, he's only recently stepped up to the 700 metres. But that one last week over 720 metres, it was in 42.08. There are only 5 other dogs in it. They were all in a bit of a clump early, but I thought that he showed pretty good track sense. He's still improving, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how he goes tonight.
And he's bred to stay as well. He's out of Book of Love, who I think was a Group 1 finalist, and she's produced some really good chases. So Aiden's Warrior adds to the list of really good ones for the Lord Kennel. The 5, Little Lincoln for Michael Lackas. This is a funny one. In all the race book, it says Lackas Michael. I spoke to him, I reckon, 2 months ago, and he said, I just stuffed it up when I put the paperwork in. Actually, me. So there you go. Tell us about Little Lincoln.
Look, she's only had the one attempt over the 720 metre trip before. That was here 3 starts ago in 42.46. She actually won that day off box 8. She found the lead pretty quickly. Didn't mind using up a bit of the track. She's not always like that at box rise, and I think she's probably up against it against the calibre of dogs here tonight.
I haven't seen this sort of program for a while either. 720, 400, 630, 720. So we'll see how that works out tonight. The 6 Ginny's run, Group 1 finalist a couple of months ago.
Look, I love this greyhound. She's only about 23.5 kgs, but she's all heart for Trish Shaker. She recently made the step up to 720 metres to another dog who's recently gone up to this extreme trip, and another one who'd previously shown promise over the 600 metres. And earlier on in the year, she made the final of the Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal. I think that her 2 runs over the 720 metres so far have had merit, and I think she's not the worst first for hope here in race 2.
She's also from a really good litter, sister to Gus the Jet, who won the Vic Peters, and Massaro, who I understand Ladbrokes are crossing their fingers, hoping that he doesn't get up in the $1 million chase. Is that right, Jared?
That's absolutely right, Simon. Yeah, actually the worst result in $1 million chase futures betting at the moment is Massaro.
There you go. He'll go around later on tonight. Let's get the last 2. Raised Bella for Rob McDonald. No wins since May. Recent form isn't great.
No, and yeah, the recent runs have just been fair, and I think she probably deserves to be one of the outsiders here.
And the 8, Paul Quimby for Corey Grenfell.
Yeah, I always love to see the travelling trainers here at Wentworth Park, and I always like to see them get some success as well. Corey's got a few runners in tonight here. This is a dog who was good enough to finish 3rd in the Group 1 Maturity Classic final at the Meadows a few months ago over the 525 metres. He does keep drawing box 8. It's his 4th time in a row. I think that his best chance in the race race is getting near the lead, which he is mapped to do, and from there I think he's potentially a top 3 hope.
I agree. Last 50 metres is going to be pretty tough for Paul Quimby potentially. I'm with Firethorn. You're Without a Trace?
Without a Trace.
Jared, market mover?
It's all about Firethorn here, Simon, into $1.90 now. Easily the best backed in the Ladbrokes market.
There's still plenty of time to get on down to Wentworth Park tonight. The semi-finals kick off in race number 3. 8 of the best, the winners through to the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. First 4 across the line in this Sydney Cup heat will join the first 4 from the opener tonight. You can also practice the $1 Million Challenge, which is going off next week. That Kia Tasman Ute, hopefully, will be driven out the gate on October 17. So come on down if you're in the area. There's plenty to see and do, and obviously one of the best race nights on the program right here in New South Wales throughout the year. Let's get up to Russell Beach to call the second heat of the Group 2 Sydney Cup.
Moving in. Moving forward, heat 2 of the Sydney Cup. Top 4 to qualify here. New South Wales Greyhound Firethorn for Mark Moroney at 190. 330 Without a Trace, the Victorian. Green light is on. Lure rolls up to the boxes. Heat 2 of the Sydney Cup, and they're set. Ready, racing. Firethorn was second away. Without a Trace began fast tonight. Will lead early from Firethorn, who's getting up on the rail, followed by Ginny's Run to Lincoln. Off the track is Poor Quimby, Mr. O'Brien. Aiden's Warriors a long way back in the race as they tear down the straight, and Without a Trace is out by 4. Firethorn had to be good to pick her up from there. On its out inside is Ginny's Run getting to third. Then came behind him Little Lincoln, followed by Poor Quimby making ground. Then came Aiden's Warrior as they dart down the back. Mr. O'Brien Ray's better sees them all. It's still Without a Trace, the Victorian. Bit's got her 4 lengths in front of Firethorn on the home corner. She's going great guns too. Without a Trace roaring away for a big win. Firethorn second, third into Aiden's Warrior. Ginny's Run qualifies. And then came Little Lincoln, followed by Poor Quimby very, very late. Ray's better, Mr. O'Brien, and the time is fast at 41.35.
Wow, that is fast. 41.35. Liz Whelan, welcome back to the desk. You've given us a winner in race number 2 at a good price as well, and that is a dominant margin. Have a go at that. Pete Prosciutto, Without a Trace. Take a bow. And Liz, congratulations to you. You're off the mark.
Thank goodness we didn't make it to race 10. But Without a Trace, I think the first surprise of the race here, Simon, is the way that she's begun. She's managed to get across Firethorn early here. We know that Without a Trace is strong, and from there she was always going to be pretty tough to run down.
Yeah, heck of a performance. 41.35. Super Estrella's the track record holder here. 41.21. It's about 2 lengths off it. That's how good this dog is going. And gee, she hasn't had a lot of starts. I reckon she's still very much untapped, and Pete Prosciutto's got another maybe potential start on his hands. You're spot on. As soon as Firethorn didn't lead, she always looked like she was going to be battling against a dog that's a pretty good stayer.
And I think the other thing too is this is her first look at Wentworth Park. It was just due to circumstances that Peter hadn't gotten her to trial here. You'd imagine the trip home would be a bit easier. Only drove here this morning. I know that they did the big trip as well to Brisbane, went there to trial in advance of the Nationals, then went back the following week. She's a really good traveller, so she's going to be a huge winning chance in the final next week.
Gee whiz, that was only career start number 20, win number 11, just ticks over $30,000 in prize money and continues on her winning ways. That's a special performance over a dog that, well, if you look around the staying prospects, especially here in New South Wales and Queensland, Firethorn has been knocking over all comers. It wasn't really a chance in the end. Blue Bib's the one to keep an eye on as well. That's Aiden's Warrior starting to really wiggle and weave his way through. This is a pretty good finish for a dog that's only having, what, I think start number 3 over 700. Watch him hit the line as well. But all honours to the winner, Without a Trace, dominant here at Wentworth Park, and Pete Prosciutto's with Mick Cowley.
I am with a very happy Pete Prosciutto. Congratulations, mate. That 41.35, that's about a length and a half, length 3/4 outside the track record. Okay. Did you expect anything like that?
You kind of do. You come here with the expectations that that's what she can do. It's just, you got to put it on the board when you come into the, you know, the moment was tonight, and she performed. So look, we've never had a doubt that that's what she's about, but it's great to see.
You've always had a huge rap on her too, haven't you?
Yeah, no, she's always been, she's special. She's a special dog. Idolise was special, and so's this one here. So hopefully she can keep going the way she's going, and yeah, we're wrapped with her the way she's going.
mate. What were the feelings like when she stepped in front?
Well, I was actually just worried about how she was going to handle the track at that point, whether she'd sort of lose a little bit going around, because she'd never been out. So that was a concern. But look, it appeared to me that she handled it quite well. So no, I just thought, keep going, girl, just keep going. And then I looked at the clock and I thought, wow, that's fantastic.
Is she the kind of dog or kind of bitch that does improve after she has a look at a track?
Yes, she does. But, I mean, I think she handled this quite well, just the same. But whether she can go quicker, who knows. But I think the early splits were good too. So they were pretty quick. So, no, look, I'm not complaining. I'm not going to, you got to take that. I'll take that every day.
Does that make the trip home tonight a little bit better?
Special. Yeah, that'd be great.
Congratulations, buddy. We'll see you next week.
No worries. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take it. It's one of the best runs we've seen this year over 7:20 at Wentworth Park. Pete Prosciutto, big smile on his face, and there he is, giving that beautiful greyhound without a trace, the deserved pat. She's a beauty, isn't she? As I said, start number 20, Houdini Boy by My Reflection. Trained by Pete Prosciutto, owned by the Puleo family. Congratulations to them. Let's have another look at this replay, Liz.
Once again, just looking at the beginning here, she's gone to the lead. I also like Peter just saying, she's handled it quite well here first look at Wentworth Park. I wonder what would happen if she handled it very well.
Yeah, understated.
Very, very happy for him and interesting as well. Thought there could be potential improvement. She's so strong and first look at Wentworth Park, and I think she could be special. I mean, the staying ranks here in Australia, she's still got, plenty of races ahead of her. I think she's exciting.
Yeah, very much on the upward curve. Jared, final price from Laddies, what were you throwing up?
Well, $3.20, Simon. It was just rock solid in the market. So whereas Firethorn was clearly the best back, there was certainly interest all evening from the Ladbrokes punters for Without a Trace there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Firethorn looks a little bit like probably needs to lead maybe in next week's final if she's going to win. There's Happy Connections now. She's a beautiful looking girl as well. Look at her there. Nice little patch over the eye. First four across the line go through to next week's final. So the Sydney Cup, the Group 2 event, will be part of the showcase here at Wentworth Park, October 17. We look forward to that. Just quickly, Without a Trace, she was a Group 3 McKenna Memorial finalist. She ran second there, fireball final. Then she went, of course, to the national distance where she ran second behind Ethanol Water. And gee whiz, let's see. The world could be her oyster, and it could be a statement win here at Wentworth Park for Pete Prosciutto and the team. Thanks for your company right here tonight across the dogs.com.au and Ladbrokes too if you're watching there at home. I'm alongside Liz, Whelan and Jared Timms, and the semi-finals are about to roar into action, guys. For those that have just joined us or maybe missed it earlier, can we get some best bets? Because I understand, I don't know if this is good or bad, but you two are aligned.
I feel like you should get to go first for a change with this one.
Liz, you're in winning form. I don't know why you want to throw this one to me, but yeah, I think Lakeview Emily, race number 6, which is semi-final number 4. I think this might be the weakest semi-final of the night, and I think she's quite clearly the best dog. Box 2 absolutely perfect. So for me, best bet of the night, Lakeview Emily.
And I'm exactly the same. I think she's drawn perfectly off box 2. She's just got that brilliant early pace. As you say, it's, obviously no disrespect to the other greyhounds, but I think it's certainly a semi-final that she can win.
Quick question without notice. Last week, I'm sure you watched the city qualifiers. It looked like she could have won the race a couple of times. She went under by, I think, 0.03 of a length, the tiniest of margins. I think it was Zipping Deckers that snuck up on the inside. Was that a worrying run, or was it a good pipe cleaner ahead of this week, Liz?
Look, I think it was a good pipe cleaner. I did back her last week. I thought she got there, so that hurt. So thank you for thanks for raising that again.
Mate, I thought, well, look, I agreed. We had her as our best bet across the program last week, and she could have won it a couple of times. But interesting to see. She hasn't had the best form, Jared. You were talking about this earlier. In New South Wales, everywhere else, she seems to have been really dominant, but she's come up for a few cracks at the Megastar. She's back again having a go at this. She was third in the Easter egg, which is really good form reference behind two of the best in Power and Glory and Jungle Johnny. But excited to see what she can do tonight.
Absolutely. And look, to be honest, Simon, we say that she probably doesn't find her best form here at Wentworth Park. She has had 5 goes at this track and distance and has missed the placings once. So it's still not terrible form, is it? She just doesn't seem to quite go as well here as she might do at some of the other courses around the country.
Yeah, we'll look forward to her going around later on. There's the divvies from race number 2, Without a Trace on top, Firethorn, Aiden's Warrior, and Ginny's run for Trish Shaker. Gee, she's having a year. Group 1 winner in the Peter Mossman. She's been in some big finals, and she's got Ritza Chris going around later on tonight. We look forward to seeing how it can go as well. A real speed demon alongside Coast Rig. Let's have a quick look at race number 3, the first of our Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-finals. And this is an interesting one. Ariza Sparkles, Jungle Johnny, Tracy Taro, both Bowers Ace, all-star quality. Steve Fitch trains the Reason Sparkles, one of the brightest bitches here in New South Wales, and Mick Cowley caught up with Steve just a little bit ago.
Steve Fitch, welcome to Wentworth Park on $1 Million Chase semi night. How's the week been for you, mate?
Yeah, no, all good, mate. Just business as usual, and just went through our normal routine with them and get them ready for tonight.
Hey, we'll start off with this race 3, Rise of Sparkles. Group 1 winner. Makes you kind of flown under the radar a little bit for a Group 1 winner.
Yeah, I suppose she's only had one race since, I think, hasn't she? So I just kept her away from here and gave her 2 good hit-outs at Bulleye, and the one race she had here, she got mixed up with Jack, so I didn't want to do that again. So, yeah, we just give her a couple of good hard runs, and she should be ready to go tonight.
Mate, the obvious danger is Jungle Johnny drawn outside you. I guess you want to be as far away from him as you can.
Yeah, about 10 lengths far away from him, I hope, mate. Yeah, down the back, yeah. Obviously a real good dog, and I think he's well boxed out there. I think he likes wides and seems to handle them well, so we will find out when the lids go up.
We will indeed. It'd be remiss of me not to touch on the ones a bit later in the night, particularly Cumbria Jack. Set the place on fire a few weeks ago, 29.04. I did talk to you, you said there could be some more left.
Oh, you never know, do you? Yeah, I think I don't think he's ever run his perfect race yet, so if he landed on the bunny, could he go quicker on a big night? Let's hope so, yeah.
How do you think it's all sets up for him in that race?
Oh, I don't look at him too closely, but I don't think it's his race to lose, isn't it? So I think he's got a few lengths on them. If he comes out and runs does everything right and nothing gets in his way or he has any trouble. So yeah, let's just hope he gets around safe and sound and does what he does.
Now, you mentioned to me when we spoke a couple of weeks ago that he's one of those dogs. He's just incredible track sense. He just knows which way to go and when to go there.
Yeah, he does, and he's done it here as well. Even in his first start, he sort of worked his way around the track here. And yeah, when he's a funny track, and some dogs take to it and others don't, but he seems to take a like to it. So I hope he just does the same thing tonight and works his way around that first bend is the most important thing here, and comes out in a winning position.
Cumbria Chrissy in the last, kind of be handy to just have one dog in, and if Cumbria Chrissy was the one, you'd probably be happy, but you've got another 2, obviously. What do you make of her chances?
It's a very open race, that one, and she's a fast little bitch. She hasn't had much experience. She's pretty good in a field like Jack, and yeah, she hasn't been jumping great, but I think if she came out running, I think she can run 29.56 here, and that might be good enough to win it, but there's some good dogs around her.
You still pinch yourself a bit?
Yeah. We only got 9 dogs in the kennel and 3 of them here tonight, so that's not a bad strike rate.
Very handy strike, buddy. Good luck in this next race, and good luck the rest of the night, particularly with Cumbria Jack in the 8.
Thanks, Mick. See you, mate.
Thank you, buddy.
Mick Cowley doing some great work trackside with Steve Fitch there. Let's take a look at race number 3 in the program tonight. The Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final number 1. Jared Timms from Laddies. Tell us, mate, who's the current favourite?
Well, this race just runs deep, doesn't it, Simon? If you want an advertisement for the quality of the 2025 Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-finals, this is a very, very good start. Jungle Johnny, we've already spoken about him a few times tonight. He is leading the Ladbrokes market. $2.90 into $2.70 on race night. $2.90 on your second line of betting, Ariza Sparkles. We just heard from Steve Fitch a few moments ago. Tracy Taro certainly admires as well. $6, $8.50 about both Bowers Ace. Pops up in plenty of races like this one throughout his career, out from $6.50. And a little bit of a late push here for Paul Vortex as well. It was a $13 chance into 10s, and is your Ladbrokes market mover 9 minutes out from jump as well. But Jungle Johnny occupying your top line of betting, $2.70 at Ladbrokes. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call that number on your screen or visit the website.
And now we'll take a look at the speed map here. Tracy Taro off the 1. She's quite a big greyhound for a bit. She's around 31 kgs, and she's mapped to lead here in the first of the semi-finals of the $1 Million Chase. Ariza Sparkles as well. I think she's certainly got the potential to get across and lead here off the 6.
Tell you what, I don't like my tip. Tracy Taro starting to get the blows. I thought she could lead and maybe just sneak away. Anyway, Jungle Johnny, one of the stars of the show, of course, Country Classic winner earlier this year, came through the $1 Million Chase maiden series last year and now has graduated to semi-finals in 2025. Mick Cowley caught up with his trainer, Dan Gatt.
Welcome to $1 Million Chase semi-final night, mate. How are the nerves for starters?
Yeah, they're all right at the moment, so yeah, yep.
Mate, he's certainly bounced into form. He had a couple of not hiccup runs, but it wasn't at his best, but those last couple of Nowra runs were pretty special.
Yeah, he turned the corner. He put a good run in a Bulleye, and even in the final at Bulleye, there were excuses, but Narnara was very good to see.
Mate, key tonight obviously is getting through the traffic early, is that right?
Yeah, just getting a nice clear run, and yeah, it's up to him then.
You've been pretty happy with it?
Very happy, yep. Physically and mentally, yeah, everything's good. It's tonight's another step up, but yeah, see how he goes.
You're sounding fairly confident though.
Oh, confident in him. He's exactly where we want to be. But yeah, he's got to do it all, and you know what it's like. It's yeah, he's got to do it.
$1 million chase final. What would it mean to make $1 million chase final?
Oh, it'd be awesome. It'd be even better to win it. But yeah, it'd be good.
Mate, hopefully I'll talk to you after the race and maybe next week.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Dan Gatt there with Mick Cowley, Jungle Johnny 270 favourite with Ladbrokes for the first semi-final of the $1 million chase. Interesting story. Johnny Maroon trained the dog for his first, I reckon, handful of starts, and then I reckon he got to the point where he said, I think this guy's got real star quality, and I've got to give him maybe to someone else that can get him to the upper limits of what he's capable of. The Country Classic win, Liz, proved what he could do, but it takes a lot to hand over a dog like this guy.
Oh, it'd be one of the hardest things to do, right, if you've got a superstar like that, and then at the same time you're saying you want him to have the best possible chance of competing in a race like this.
Yeah, really interesting. 270 as well, interesting. He's had 5 runs back from that slight niggle. He had a couple of months off the track, but the last run at Nowra, 29.26. He's the track record holder down there. He had box 1, which I didn't know would suit, but he was absolutely phenomenal, and I reckon deserves favouritism ahead of the first semi-final. The dogs are about to make their way out. Let's start working our way through the field, and Tracy Taro on top, a greyhound that won the Gosford Gold Mine, qualified through the Dubbo MDC series, and she's got really good early pace, Liz.
Yeah, and she's drawn well here in box 1 as well with that early pace. She's likely to be out near the front in the early stages. Her most recent start was here at Wentworth Park just over a week ago. I thought she did a terrific job. She drew box 6 and she only went down 3/4 of a length behind Santino Cade and went 29.55 in second. She pinged away that day, and hopefully she can ping away again tonight.
Yeah, I agree. She's $6, so a bit of value if you want to have a play with Tracy Taro. I'm What's Next for Rob Arnold. Tried at Wentworth Park last weekend before the first, and it was only moderate.
Yeah, went 30.02 in that trial. He's qualified for this race by finishing a close-up second in the Grafton Regional Final. That was in behind Dacey's Rory, who I've got on top later on tonight. My main concern with this dog tonight is his lack of experience over the 500-metre trip, and that trial didn't really instill me with any further confidence.
Yeah, fair enough as well. There's the dog selections. Jungle Johnny from Ariza Sparkles, the Group 1 Megastar winner. Tracy Taro, and both Bowers Ace seems to run a drum every time he goes to the races. He was really good last week as well. Let's talk about the 3 Spring Breezing for Chris Witt. Only missed the frame once in his last 8 starts, mostly racing on the South Coast.
Yeah, mostly racing on the South Coast. I do like that he's drawn down close to the rails tonight. He's capable of a good beginning, and to be fair, he has broken 30 seconds here at Wentworth Park on a number of occasions previously. I don't think he'll be winning tonight, but I think he's definitely one to be including in combinations.
You can get $18 for him with Ladbrokes at the moment. I mentioned both Bowers Ace, $9 chance, 111 starts tonight, 29 wins, and how's this? 57 placings. He's been a ripper. The litter have been phenomenal. I checked yesterday, over $1.2 million for him. Gets laid early, might have been, and the rest of them out of Poco Dorado.
Outstanding litter, as you say. Look, I might use Minnie Finn's word here about this greyhound. I spoke to her on Wednesday. She said if he turns up on the night, he can do anything. This greyhound made the final of the $1 million chase last year, finished 4th off the red and behind Blue Camaro. He's gone 29.51 here previously. He's made a number of feature race finals. He did the job in 29.78 in the city quantifier off box 8 last time. He didn't get all favours, and to be fair, he had to be pretty good to actually win the race, but he can be a little bit tough to watch.
I'm not going to lie, Liz. When you said you're going to use Minnie Finn's words, I started to panic and get the dump button ready.
They were her genuine words as well. I haven't even censored them.
Who knows what could have come out of Queen. Gee, didn't she have a night last week? Well, I think 4 winners and a second on City Qualifier night. Just continues to dominate. Queen Minnie. Poor Vortex, just quickly, Jared, any money for any of the first 5 dogs so far?
Well, funnily, we get to Poor Vortex here, and that's actually the one that the Ladbrokes punters want late here, Simon. Did touch $9.50 just a few moments ago, and it's still your Ladbrokes market mover.
Let's talk a little bit more about him. Another Grenfell dog, comes through a pretty good city qualifier last weekend behind Coast Rig and beat home Winsome Jet, who's been the subject of a lot of market support later on.
It's funny you say that the money has come from a little bit. I really, really like this dog. I've got him in my top 3. Corey Grenfell said to me a few days ago that this was the dog that he actually picked out on the night for me. He said he thinks that he really thinks there's a massive chance. He liked his run last week. He thinks if he can find the rail, could potentially be winning this.
Gee, how's the work ethic from Liz? She has been hitting the phones and talking to all the
Harassing everyone.
No, you use harassing. I use just
They
trying to get the good oil for our punters out there who are trying to bet with confidence at home. And you've already had a winner tonight at a nice price. So let's keep the good times rolling. Ariza Sparkles. We could talk a lot about this girl, and it's pretty special considering she's only had 13 starts.
I agree, it's absolutely remarkable, and she's one of the favourites tonight for a semi-final of the $1 Million Chase, and still so much ahead of her. She's an exciting greyhound. She's won 8 from 13, had the 3 minors, $114,000 in prize money. She won the Dapto Megastar last month, and that was against a quality field. Stephen Fitch instilled me with a bit of confidence this week. He said to me that she's trialled fast at Bulleye the last couple of Fridays and is as fit as he can get her.
It's hard for a Kiwi, isn't it?
Everything is. I'm left-handed, I'm a Kiwi, like it's all up against me.
You're going all right, mate. It's funny, right? Most people would be pretty stoked bringing Ariza Sparkles to the races. Steve Fitch, I'm sure, loves having her in the car when he jumps in. But then you load up Cumbria Jack next door and you think, oh my God, this is just the rich getting richer. Good job, Stevie Fitch. He's toiled away for the last couple of years and now he's reaping the rewards. Jungle Johnny, let's get to him. Joint favourite now with Ariza Sparkles at 280, I should say. So on the drift just a little bit. Debuted, as I mentioned, this time last year and has been a real star, hasn't he?
He has been, and as you say, debuted last year, ended up finishing second in the big maiden final on $1 Million Chase final night. He's the winner of $267,000 already, 15 wins from 28 starts. As you mentioned before, Simon, he's come back really well from those 3 months off, and he's got a very, very fast PB here, 29.16. Box 7, I don't love it. He could potentially get a nice trip across though with the Ariza Sparkles, but I just gave the slight edge to her, mainly because of the box draw, to be fair. Yeah, very intriguing. And the 8 Bomb Noah for Michelle Mabbott, been flying on the provincial circuit, but this is different gravy. Yeah, it's a tough field that he's up against tonight. He qualified for the semi going via the Gunnedah path. He finished 3rd in the regional final there and behind Mossy Boots. Did begin well. He's a greyhound who can start well, but I think life is going to be pretty tough for him tonight. Jared Timms, I want a market move, but I also want your tip, mate, for the first semi-final.
Well, what an outstanding race this one is, Simon. Jungle Johnny is where all of the late interest is going in the Ladbrokes market, just since we spoke about it before. Now into $2.60. Leading the market is your Ladbrokes market mover as well. I'm with Ariza Sparkles, though. I think I can't unsee that Dapto Megastar when we spoke about it just before. 13 career starts. I think she's a star on the rise. I think she can win through to next week's final.
Oh, you could see it, Dapto, could you? It was a cast of 5,000 people. I don't know how anyone saw. It was just amazing how many people were there. Hey, quick tease, by the way, we've got a very special feature coming up later on tonight from Mark Duclos, our great former friend here at GRNSW, who cut that up. We'll show that exclusively on the broadcast tonight as they make the walk to the boxes for the first semi of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Liz Whelan, you are in form. Give us your best bet in race number 3. I'm the same as Jared here. I've gone with the Ariza Sparkles on top. Jungle Johnny also clearly a class act, and I'll be really interested to see how Paul Vortex goes here in the first of the semis. Yeah, I'm with Tracy Taro. Just a nibble back in. It was about $6 or $7. Now I can see $5.50, Jared. She's potentially going to lead. We'll see if she can hold on. She needs to lead to win. So Tracy Taro for me, the best value. Ariza Sparkles for you two. Best of luck. The winner goes through to next week's Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. The winner and the winner alone. The second placing will go through to the consolation. Russell Veach. This is the stuff that race callers dream of. Let's throw up to him for the calling of race number 3, the first of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semis.
Thank you, Nathan. About to line up here for the first semi-final of the $1 Million Chase. Chase the Dream, Race for Glory 2025. But they need to win here to advance to Friday night's big dance. 270 Jungle Johnny, box 7. The Dapto Megastar winner, Ariza Sparkles in box 6. Green light is on. Semi-finals of the 2025 $1 Million Chase, and they're set to go. Racing, Jungle Johnny missed it a couple of lengths, and a Riser Sparkles came out humming. I'm What's Next gets up on the rail through 2 lengths away. Then came both Bowers Ace, followed by Tracy Taro rounding up. Wider is Jungle Johnny starting to stoke up now. Then Spring Breezing, Poor Vortex and Bomb Noah off the back, and it's a Riser Sparkles out by 5. On I'm What Next, both Bowers Ace, Jungle Johnny battles away with the Dapno Megastar winner for Stephen Fitch. A Riser Sparkles looking for $1 million. Well, by 4 lengths to both Bowers Ace and Jungle Johnny third. Then came I'm What's Next, followed by Spring Breezing, Tracy Taro, Poor Vortex and Bomb Noah, and the time is 29:17.
The time, 29:17. That is a sparkling effort from a sparkling race bitch. Ariza Sparkles does it again, 14th start, and look at the gap job. There's both Bowers Ace, of course, running into a drum. That's what he does. Jungle Johnny got out late and hit the line well, but that's a win. That's a statement.
That's been super impressive, Ariza Sparkles. Look, and she's done what she had to do. She's jumped straight to the lead. She's got across there going into the first bend. And then meanwhile, Jungle Johnny not as quickly away. He has hit the line well to finish in third, but all honours with the winner and clocking 29:17 in the first of the semis.
That is amazing. Tell you what, 5:34 to the first mark. That was eerily similar to the Dapto Megastar win, where she just carved across. I think she was in the green bib again from memory. She maybe got a toe into the race on that night, but tonight she just flew to the front, and as soon as she did, gee whiz, he's got something special coming up later on in Cumbria Jack, but all of a sudden this girl has emerged as a potential superstar as well. How good is this? Mick Cowley is trackside with Steve Fitch, who must be over the moon.
Steve Fitch, are you over the moon? Simon just asked.
Yeah, I'm pretty wrapped with that, mate. Yeah, I'm absolutely just wrapped.
But once she stepped, obviously that's great, but you had to look where Jungle Johnny was.
I just looked where Johnny went, and Johnny went looked like he took the wrong move went left. So the further she was in front, the better. Yeah.
29:17. Is that a surprise?
I had in my head if she came out clean, she'd run 29:20 tonight. She went around Bullo 2 weeks ago on Friday morning and went 25:9, which bitches don't run there, not on trial morning, and thought, crikey, if she comes out tonight, she'll run some time. So.
She certainly did that. First finalist in the $1 Million Chase next week. You've obviously had Cumbria Kid a few years ago. What's this experience to that experience like?
The kid, no one was, the kid was flying under the radar, and she has a little bit too. No one's really talked about it, but since the Megastar. But look, they're at the top of the market. I'm not used to that. Years ago, I was 300 to 1 in these races, so now it's a bit different. So.
I can't call you a battler anymore, mate.
No. Another week. Give it another week.
Buddy, what does it mean to get her through? I know the hype's been on Cumbria Jack. What's it mean to get her through? Group 1 winner, obviously. Yeah, no, it's special for all our dogs. It's special to win any race, but as I say, I whelp them, I rear them, I do everything, and you just hope you got a dog that can win some races, and we're in the biggest race in the world now, mate, so what do you say? It's unreal. Good luck, first of all, with the box draw, and then with next week, but also the couple tonight. Thanks, mate. We'll see how we go. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
How good is that? Stevie Fitch with the Pine Bowl princess herself, Ariza Sparkles. What a time, 29:17. Remarkable for a greyhound that's only had, as we say, 14 starts, and now, as he mentioned, he's through to the biggest race in the world. That's a great promo. We'll cut that up and we'll use that all through the week. There it is. He's got the finger up, the thumbs up, a bit of a shakers in the middle. And how good is that? The first section, I just had a look at the first section record. It's a fair bit quicker than that, but still, if you're starting in 5:34, you're going to lead most races, Liz.
Yeah, and I think that helps as well in terms of box draw for next week, because at least you can have a little bit of confidence that for her it won't matter so much with the way that she comes out running.
It's interesting. So she's the next leader out of Gramercy Park from August Bob, who a year ago, Steve Fitch, that was his best dog by a country mile, and he was travelling around the country with Bob. He went up to Queensland, I reckon, targeted some big races up there, and now he's spoilt for choice. Remarkable story. A girl who dazzled us in a heat of the Peter Mossman Opal here, I reckon, 3 months ago, and since then, I think he said in the interview, no one's really talked about it. Cumbria Jack's been the focus, but Laddies went down there. You hit the nail on the head, and now you've got a yarn that lives for another 7 days, mate.
Thank goodness, yeah. I'm merely paraphrasing what we've spoken about all night here, Simon, but that was very, very impressive. He was obviously very bullish about Cumbria Jack, but he was only slightly less bullish about how Ariza Sparkles would go throughout the entire series. I think she's a very, very good winning chance next week.
And it's great. I'll give a shout out here to Chrissy O'Brien. The line goes back through to Fire and Tiffy, which has produced a stack of really, really good greyhounds. So to Chris O'Brien, if you're watching at home, a big shout out to you, mate, because you started the journey for this greyhound here. Sniper Cam, look at her just highballing out in front. Jungle Johnny is going to emerge at some stage. Both Bowers Ace will run his way into a consolation. We should have bet on that. That was the bet of the year, right? Both Bowers Ace. But let's have a look at her coming out of the boxes, and this is where she won it. Gee, she just sizzled across, didn't she? I thought there'd be some speed from the red, and I think she got out pretty well, but have a go at this.
She's
Great
just beautiful to watch, isn't she? Both aesthetically, like she's actually a stunning greyhound generally, but her action, her stride, and none of the other dogs really looked like they were going to give her any trouble during the race.
Well, you can see there the 5 missing, it certainly helped, and Jungle Johnny just tailed in behind her. Where to from here for Johnny? I guess he'll just pick off some races around the place, but all honours to the winner, Ariza Sparkles. We should mention Steve Fitch went within, I reckon, half a length of winning the $1 Million Chase a couple of years ago. Cumbria Kid ran in behind JSJ, and it was almost the upset of all time. But have a go at that. As soon as she got to the fence, that was sort of it, right? It's interesting. Jungle Johnny's 4 wide through the pen, gets into an all right position up the back, but he just had to work too hard throughout, didn't he?
Yeah, box 7 really didn't help his chances tonight, but you sort of see him start to get into his work here. I'm What's Next actually done okay here, I thought. Has jumped pretty well and managed to hold on for 4th. Both Bowers Ace, another placing tonight. And yeah, we see Johnny sort of start to get into his work, but too late in the straight.
Yeah, prices, J-Bone, and also kudos to you two. Both tipped the winner. Congratulations. Keep the punters at home happy. What price did we get in here?
Both of them went off, Jungle Johnny and Ariza Sparkles went off $2.90 chances there, so nice value for the Ladbrokes punters there, Simon.
Yeah, really good run. Can't wait to see where she draws. I guess that's the question. Does it matter, Liz, if you're running 5.34?
I think for a greyhound like her, it doesn't matter so much, and you can imagine Stephen be pretty happy at the moment as well, even before the draw.
Yeah, spot on, knowing that he's got a superstar coming up later on tonight. Hey, let's take a quick look at the second semi-final here from Wentworth Park on Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase night, because as we mentioned, there's quality throughout the card here tonight. Zipping Zayden last week was a really interesting run. I still have no idea how he got through the gap from the wide draw, but he emerged, and then from there he ran away in 29.4, Liz. It was a pretty remarkable effort. Just looking further down the page, Skedaddle Arlo's one that I've penciled and tipped based off his form over the last couple of months. He's gone through a couple of features, and he's been so close to picking one off, hasn't he?
He has been. I thought that was an enormous second in the Group Untapped Megastar final, and we've certainly just seen that form being franked as well.
Jared, can we get a market update ahead of race number 4 here tonight?
Bit more of an open race, this one, if the Ladbrokes market is to be believed tonight, Simon. Zipping Zayden is occupying the top line of betting, but still plenty of meat on the bone here at Ladbrokes. $3.80. Zipping Ariel is a $4.50 chance. Another one that you just talked about before, Skedaddle Arlo, I beg your pardon, has had a pretty good push tonight, actually, on race night. $7 into $5.50 now is your Ladbrokes market mover, and that is tied on the third line of betting with Magpie Hector, also a $5.50 chance. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
We'll take a look at the speed map here for the second of the semi-finals, and it is pretty hard to map, and it's a pretty hard race to pick as well. Speed coming from the middle boxes, Skedaddle Arlo and Lone Shark. Mossy Boots has also got a bit of early pace and out wide Dynamic Drummer. Zipping Zayden does not have early pace, and it's for that reason that Minnie Finn had previously said to me she doesn't actually mind the draw too much off the 7.
Well, you mentioned Minnie Finn earlier on. We've got her here tonight, fresh off 7 days ago when she absolutely dominated here at Wentworth Park. She caught up with Mick Cowley to talk about Zipping Zayden.
Okay. With Minnie Finn, semi-final number 2 of the $1 Million Chase, Zipping Zayden certainly showed that there was no dramas with the fall. Performance last week was outstanding.
Yeah, no, he went super last week. He lacks early section and needs to find the fence, but if he can find the fence round through the pen, and he's very strong.
He's got a stack of ability, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he has got a lot of ability. Ron Arnold told me the other week, he said he's the most exciting young dog he's seen for a while, so let's hope he can go on with it.
Have you felt that way as well in terms of the ability and the excitement around it?
Yeah, when we got him when he was a pup, I pushed him for the Goulburn race. He wasn't really ready for it and gave him a trial there. He went good, but when I started trialling him around Richmond, I knew I had something special.
You mentioned try and get to the fence as soon as you can. Have you looked at the field? How do you think it'll pan out?
I haven't even really looked at it. Yeah, no, I got the 2 in it too. She's still a chance in it too. Yeah, you've got to have a lot of luck on these nights. You just seen that then that dog got out in front. You just can't run dogs down when they're running that in front. And they're all feeling well. And if Zayden can get a crack at him, he's got a good run home to him.
You mentioned you've got a few in tonight. Can you tell the punters who you think the best is?
I still think the old girl. She come out the car tonight and she's feeling really well. So if she can get on the bunny tonight, she might give him a bit of a surprise. And the young dog in the last off the red, if he's all right in the kennels, he's got a lot of ability and he's well boxed in the one.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Good luck.
That's Minnie Fing talking about zipping Zayden first. Then she said Gets Laid Early is the best bet, maybe from her kennel. She goes around in race number 5, and she also mentioned a dog that I got a lot of time for, Winsome Jet, who gets a run from box 1 in the final semi here tonight on the card. We're taking a look at race number 4, semi-final number 2, and zipping Zayden on screen there next to Dynamic Drummer, who has run some pretty good races as well. Let's work our way through and find you a winner. Liz Whelan, I'm not going to pump your tyres too much, but you've won the last 2 races, mate. Let's see if we can find a winner here. The one, Mossy Boots, John McCarthy, won the Gunnedah regional final. Could this girl be a nuisance, maybe, to other dogs?
I think she potentially could. I think she's potentially got some pace here off the one. Having her first official race here at Wentworth Park for the first time tonight, but she did trial here last week. That was in 30:21. Off that trial last week, I'd expect some improvement, but probably not enough to be going close here.
Zipping Aerial for Courtney Barnes and Minnie Finn. Second in the Bill and Peg Miller at Dubbo earlier this year. Probably the best dog to come out of that feature now they've had some exposed form.
I thought she was a really good chancer. I've got her in my top 3 selections in what I thought was quite an even race. It was an eye-catching run, I thought, by her and behind Trunky Chief. She's drawn wide in her last couple of races. I think being close to the rails is going to suit her tonight. She also finished 4th in the Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal final here back in July with a clear run. I think she's a really good winning chance.
Intrepid Bale, another Grenfell runner, the winner of the Bidgie Cup, locks horns with Skedaddle Arlo again, who he finally overcome in the last bound down there at Wagga.
Yeah, beat home Skedaddle Arlo by half a length in the Bidgie Cup that day. Did actually jump last on that occasion, was super strong, finished too late to score. That's probably what I love most about him. I love how strong he is. He's versatile. He can also win over 600 metres. Most of his races have been at the Meadows and Sandown in Victoria, and once again he's one who's going to need a clear run. I've got him in for 4th here.
I'm looking through the first couple of runners, Jared. It seems like they're all on the drift. Can you tell us what the market's doing at the moment with Ladbrokes?
Yeah, it's still all about zipping Zayden at the top of the market here, Simon, into $3.30 now, in from $3.70 when we last caught up. So a good push there for zipping Zayden.
I like this. Skedaddle Arlo $6.50 into $5.50, back out to $6. I still have no idea how Intrepid Bale caught him in the Bidgie Cup, and then I have no idea how he didn't catch Ariza Sparkles in the Megastar. But judging off what we've just seen, that's a pretty good form reference.
Definitely a very good form reference. I'm a little bit nervous because I've left him out of my selections, and at the same time I think he's a winning chance here. Skedaddle Arlo, as you mentioned, that Group 1 Dapto Megastar final and behind Ariza Sparkles. Skedaddle Arlo nearly got her on the line. I don't mind him off box 4. I think he's got the pace to overcome the draw, and we saw that earlier on in the speed map. Once again, I've left him out of my picks, but it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him winning this.
There he is. Wouldn't it be a night for Nowra if Mark Suttle could get up as well? Hey, great yarn just quickly about Mark Suttle. As you see, the dogs tips, zipping Zayden, Skedaddle Arlo, Intrepid Bale and zipping Ariel. Mark Suttle, I reckon it was a bit over 2 years ago, had a battle with cancer. Went through the ringer, absolutely through the ringer, and Skedaddle Arlo was just starting to emerge on the scene, born, breaking in, going through the process, and Mark said that this dog gave him great hope. It was part of the reason he wanted to get back, get healthy, and get back to the racetrack. So if Skedaddle Arlo could win, it could be one of the stories of tonight. Lone Shark, $23 open, doubled in price out to 46. Do you give it any hope, Liz?
Look, to be fair, I think he probably deserves to be that price. I do really like this dog, but it's his first look at the track. A lot of his racing has been at Temora, which is where he finished second in his regional qualifier. Unfortunately, I think he's going to find a few of these too good.
Magpie Hector for the great Jack and Marie Smith. A big shout out to everyone out there at Forbes. He's given us so much, or they have, sorry, Jack and Marie. Is Magpie Hector their next star after losing Palawar King, obviously retiring? We had the Feral. Is Magpie Hector capable of those sort of efforts?
Absolutely. Look, I've got him in for second. I think he's a huge winning hope. He's got a PB here of 29.61. He set that back in July. He's young. He's only having his 14th career start tonight, and he only turned 2 years old last month. He did find trouble and fell last start here a few weeks ago, but his prior form was very good. What I love about him, he's strong, but he's also got that really good track sense. So even though he isn't particularly fast away, I'd be expecting him to find a way somehow to get through this field.
Well, that's what we loved about Palomar King, right? For the casual out there who was watching at the pub, often I would hear that dog's got a jockey on him. He just knows his way through a field. And Magpie Hector, interesting, only 13 career starts. Palomar King did this. He went through some group races over 500. Is his future at the sprinting trip, or is it inevitable that 600, 700 metre racing is in his future?
You'd imagine 600, 700 metre races in the future, and I guess, still young, so why not give it a go in the $1 Million Chase? And he's a winning hope here of getting through to the final.
Gee whiz, Jared, Zipping Zayden, 370, was touching 290. There's a flood of money for this bloke.
Yeah, all of the late interest is with this dog, Simon, into $3 now. It's probably accounting for a little bit more than 50% of the hold now in this race. It is an open one at Ladbrokes.
Last week's City Qualifier was really intriguing. Watched the replay a couple of times. I couldn't believe he wasn't even in picture when they were going through the bend, and then all of a sudden he sizzled from outside to in. Again, another greyhound showing great track sense considering he doesn't have a lot of experience. Do you have him on top, Liz?
I absolutely have him on top. I thought that was the stand-up performance clearly on Saturday night. Won it by 16 lengths, and he's gone fast as well. He's gone 29 at 45. This is another greyhound who, box 7 on paper maybe not ideal, but he's not particularly fast away. If you put aside his fall here 2 starts ago when he was completely unlucky, he'd won his previous 5 races, just needs a little bit of luck off box 7. He's the baby of the field. He doesn't even turn 2 until January, and he could potentially make the final next week.
Yeah, we love that. Magpie Hector, no speed inside as well. Lone Shark, I wouldn't say, is blistering away. So maybe Skedaddle Arlo goes forward, Zipping Zayden gets on his tail, and who knows from there. And Dynamic Drummer, thought his run last week was a bit plain, but he had already qualified for this week, so maybe he's ready to peak.
Yeah, look, I tend to agree with you with that. I mean, it was good to have a warm-up on Saturday night. He was 4th and behind Paul Kwan and behind, that was off box 5. He did get a bit of a bump mid-race, so had some excuses, but at the same time, I don't think he ever looked like winning. I think he'll be strong to the line. 2 starts ago, finished 2nd and behind You Never Lose. That was in 29.73, and he was also a close-up 4th in the Group 1 Dapto Megastar prior to that. We've discussed how good that form race is. Box 8, he's going to need some luck, but he'll be hitting the line well.
Yeah, he's spot on. The Megastar, Reza Sparkles, Skedaddle Arlo, and Delicate, who Jason Thompson has a massive opinion on, finished in front of him, and that's how he earned his ticket into semi-final night tonight. All right, Liz's lock, you've been on fire. You've won the 2nd and the 3rd. Who have you got on top here?
Hopefully Zipping Zayden can do the job here for Mini Finn.
Short and sweet. I'm with Skedaddle Arlo. I think can lead, and I just love that form through the Megastar. I love the fact that Reza Sparkles has come out and absolutely brained them in the first semi-final, but the last race here tonight. So I'm with Skedaddle Arlo. Jared, tip from you and a market mover.
I'm with you in this one, actually, Simon. I think Skedaddle Arlo, absolutely loved what you told with the story of Mark Suttle just before, but that Reza Sparkles form, it's just been franked very, very impressively there. Our market mover, though, the money has just continued to come for Zipping Zayden at Ladbrokes into $3 now. Is your Ladbrokes market mover and will start favourite.
And it's a race that has eluded Mini Finn so far. We've only had 7 editions. She's been in the final a couple of times. Zipping Kyrgios nearly got the job done a couple of years ago. She's got a big hand here tonight. Zipping Zayden, an emerging star. Could have probably gone through the young star, but he was so good last week. He deserves his crack here tonight. Just drifting late to 310. The money continues to pile in for Skedaddle Arlo as well. Open 650 into 480. A little bit of a nibble for Zipping Aerial and Intrepid Bar, but the dogs move behind the boxes. It's semi-final 2 of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Winner through to the $1 Million race next week. Let's throw up to Russell Beach.
Thank you, Nathan. And Reza Sparkles, the fastest bitch ever to grace Wentworth Park after a 29.17 win, usurping Hong Kong. Reza Sparkles the first through to the big dance coming up on Friday night. Who's the second? Here we go. Green light is on. Favourite Zipping Zayden, number 7. They're ready. Racing, he began much better tonight. Zipping Zayden, Zipping Ariel began fast to lead from Skedaddle Arlo, getting the third spot. Mossy Boots now outside at Magpie Hector. Zipping Zayden went very wide, followed by Lone Shark and Dynamic Drummer. Down the back, and Zipping Ariel for Courtney Barnes out by 4. On Skedaddle Arlo, and Trevor Bale runs on. A breakaway to Mossy Boots and no Zipping Zayden, but on the home corner, Zipping Ariel's out by 3 or 4. She's getting tired, but Courtney Barnes off to the big one. Zipping Ariel and Team Helen beat second and Trevor Bale. Skedaddle Arlo got third and they raced away from the rest, headed by Zipping Zayden late in the piece. Then came Mossy Boots, followed by Dynamic Drummer and Lone Shark, and the time is 29.44.
Zipping Aerial for Courtney Barnes through to the final of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. 2 semi-finals, 2 leaders and 2 winners so far here on semi-final night. A great performance. The final time 29.44. The final margin pretty comfortable as well. Intrepid Bale, Skedaddle Arlo running in to second and third, and I didn't see that coming. I don't know if punters saw it coming either, but all credit to the winner in Courtney Barnes. Let's say the heir apparent to the Mini Finn throne. She's stepped into the breach. Sadly, John Finn obviously passing away a couple of years ago, and I think Minnie would be the first to say that Courtney has been right by her side. There she is, walking her way back. She's going to be joining Mick Cowley any moment. That was a pretty good win, wasn't it?
That was a fantastic win. Found the front. That was just terrific. Huge congratulations to Courtney Barnes and also owner Camo Helen will be very happy with that one.
I love that little skip in her step. Let's get down to Mick Cowley and find out how she's feeling.
How are you doing, Courtney Barnes?
Oh, I'm very excited.
Congratulations, that fantastic performance. Did she exceed what you thought tonight?
She did, actually. I think that's a PB for her, definitely. Since this afternoon, she was just keen to go. She was in a really good mood. And then I know when I got her out of the kennels, she was real excitable, and I thought, deep down, I got a funny feeling this might go all right tonight. So, yeah, to see her come out lead and go the way she did was impressive.
What does it mean having a $1 Million Chase finalist?
Oh, wow. It's exciting. Yeah, so a once-in-a-lifetime sort of opportunity, isn't it?
I guess it also means a bit to you. Yeah, you've worked with Minnie right through. You've gone out on your own. Yeah, you've got your family supporting you, and you've got a young family. Yeah. It all makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Look, doing dogs is a 24/7 job, and grateful that Minnie and I work really well together, and now we've got Brad and a couple of the young ones that have been lending us a hand, which is really lighten the load. It's a very demanding job, and I'm very grateful. I've got a good husband at home that helps out with the kids, so we sort of tag team. He'll do the kids in the afternoon and I go to the dogs. But we all work really well together. I've got my daughter coming through soon. She'll be helping us in a month's time, so I'm really excited for that.
And you weren't here last week. I think Minnie said you were having a bit of a holiday.
Yes, I did have a little R&R, but I come back rejuvenated, ready to go again.
Well, maybe you can go a bit further if you happen to win next week on a holiday.
Yeah, I might go a trip around the world if we win next week.
Good luck. Congratulations on getting one through.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well done.
How good is that? Courtney Barnes, she is thrilled, and so she should be. Zipping Aerial through to the final of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Great interview, Mick Cowley, and wow, really good. Let's see if we can get that little hops. Oh, Bushka! Well, that's our photographer Lockie there drawing the best out of our participants tonight. And again, much like the first semi-final, Liz, leader gets to the front and proves really hard to run down.
Yeah, absolutely. Has gone straight to the front. Looking back in the field, a few of them really unlucky. There's Zipping Zaid and also a Dynamic Drummer and Magpie Hector all getting caught up there early on in a skirmish. But look, this one is off and gone here. Zipping Aerial. I thought the run of Intrepid Bale behind was particularly good here. Has hit the line hard. Yeah, spot on. That Bidgie Cup form standing up. That's first and second across the line down there, running second and third here tonight, and there's a big gap back to the rest. Taking a bit of ground off Zipping Aerial late, but a hell of a performance for a greyhound that is by Goodsey out of Zipping Truvy and a half to Zipping Chaplin, who of course to this point in Courtney Barnes' pretty young training career is the best greyhound that she's had. He was a Group 1 finalist and almost got back for the $1 Million Chase this year. Look at her flying out in front. Interesting. I don't read a lot into the track and the way it's playing, but so far tonight, 2 dogs that have glued themselves to the rail and have gone on to win pretty well. I mean, should we start looking at that now?
Maybe that's our job, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Now that I think about it, you're right, spot on. Let's have a look out of the boxes. Great footage throughout the $1 Million Chase Carnival. Keep your eye on the stripes from the inside. She didn't actually, she wasn't first out, I should say, but then quickly mustered and got a bit of space to move. And from here, on the arm, and away she goes. Zipping Aerial. I mentioned the big Bill and Peg Miller. She ran second in that race a couple of years ago. Nangar Larry, a pretty good dog. Nangar Lucy, I think, came through that race as well. So maybe we should start looking back through the Bill and Peg Miller history and just seeing where these dogs end up. But we love that. Zipping Aerial. Skedaddle Arlo, you can see there, just caught a little bit wide. Probably another greyhound that prefers being out on the arm. He certainly ran a really good race tonight for Mark Sutherland. You're spot on. Zipping Zayden and Magpie Hector never in with a chance. Have a go at this. This is the $1 Million Challenge warm-up. So you win that bin next week if you come down. No, I'm just kidding. We've got a bit more cash in the bank to give away a car, courtesy of Sydney City Kia. All you've got to do next week, there's the boys, Mitch Moses, James Tedesco, come down here, be over 18 to start with, first tick. Then you've got to buy a ticket before 5 p.m. on the night. We're going to draw out 10 lucky punters from here at Wenty who are going to try and kick a footy 20 metres down the Wentworth Park straight into the back of that thing. If you get it in, the first person to do it drives it away. How good is that for a promo?
Very, very good, Simon. I'll tell you what, it's a great looking car, isn't it? When we're here on Wednesday launching and everyone's getting ready to kick it, I stepped up and I thought, I really don't want to kick a ball at this thing, and then realised I was really bad at kicking and it didn't go anywhere near the car, so it wasn't a problem.
Mate, you couldn't have hit the Titanic if it was sitting out there in the middle the way you were kicking last week. Gee whiz. I tell you what, a couple of guys formed. This is the media people that were out here practising alongside Mitch Moses. As we look at the divvy, Zipping Aerial, Intrepid Bale go through to the consolation, Arlo, and there's Zayden running finally into fourth. The media types on track, there was a lot of different approaches. Your mate Munsey was getting around saying you've got to deflate the football.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some inside information for next week. There was a couple of blokes putting bombs up. The ball has to stay in the back of the ute, Liz. So it can't bounce out next week. If it bounces in and bounces out, you don't win the car. That's important to know.
Now, for someone like me or anyone who happens to be watching who, doesn't have a lot of experience with kicking a footy, if I was to spend the next week practicing this really, really hard, is it a skill that you can pick up quite quickly?
I'm glad you're looking at me and not at Jared after his
well,
performance.
after that story, yeah.
Look, there's a couple of ways of thinking about this. We're using the NRL ball, which is different to the AFL ball. So the Steeden is a bigger, rounder ball. It's a bit different kicking style compared to the Sherrin. You can see here a lot of people going with maybe a drop punt sort of style, but it's all about keeping it low. Mitch Moses was just darting them in. He kicked a couple in. I reckon it took him 3 goes to land one in the back of the ute. If you went out and practiced kicking into the back, what do you drive? What sort of car have you got?
I'm not a very good driver, but let's just put that aside. I like to win. So I'd like to win the car.
Park whatever car you've got.
Yeah, okay.
Out the front, and for the next week, just practice 20 metres. That's it. Last year, what was it, 40 or 50, Jared, and we got nowhere near it.
Okay, let's say I practice the next week, and the three of us have like a kick-off next week. If I practice.
Oh, I'd be $1.05.
I'm feeling confident after
the bar is extremely low, Liz. $1.05 in what world? Says the bloke that didn't have a crack on Wednesday. The one person that didn't have a kick.
There's plenty happening. Not only do we have the Kia Tasman, Hello Sport took the track by storm last year. I don't know if you guys listen. I'm an avid listener to the podcast. There they are down the bottom. The boys will be here again with, I'm not going to say delinquents, but a bunch of blokes and some women who are going to have a lot of fun. And Big John, how good? Oh, how good? He's milking that, isn't he? He's still touring. We've had him back 2 or 3 times.
Well, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix, honestly. Get Big John out for every meeting.
Head to milliondollarchase.com.au to get your tickets. I think it's $10. I think that's it. $10 to get in. $150 if you want to join the Hello Sport Boys. You get drinks, a drinks package throughout the night. Maybe that's not a good idea. We put them right on the fence. Yeah. So we'll see how they are by race 10. There, you can see there, that's Olivia Nusifora. She's part of our team that put together this wonderful deal with Kia, and she's got the theme locked and loaded for next week. She looks busy at the moment, doesn't she? I swear, she's always running around. Country theme next week here at Wentworth Park. So if you're coming along, throw on your best country clobber.
Are we doing that?
Oh, we can...
Are you making this up to try and make us weird?
Yeah, could add another bucking bull up here, trying to do the form in one of the other markets on the back of the ball.
It's a great... I tell you what, let's tell Timmy Newbold, who's joining us next week, the battler, that it's country theme. And we'll wear this.
I'm done with that.
Yeah. We're your finest chaps.
We'll see if the bat rocks up. The bat's been doing some really good work for GRNSW. He arranged the race callers, the old race callers at Dapto for the last ever Megastar, which was a real treat, not only for everyone listening at the tracker at home, but also for the guys to be there. They just had the best time, and it was wonderful to hear some of their beautiful tones throughout the night. I think we've digressed, right? We're here to talk about Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final night. Let's take a quick look at the third semi. I'll give you a quick update because we're only 6.5 minutes away as the sirens blare around Wentworth Park. Tim Zoo, where is he at? That's my query. He's the current favourite. Gold Force and him are jostling for favouritism. He's only had one run back from a break. He ran second in the Group 1 National Sprint behind Cumbria Jack. There's no better form in the land. Jared, can you give us a market update ahead of this one?
Well, the second worst result for the Ladbrokes book for winning the whole thing next week, Simon, is Gold Force. Stands as a very, very bad loser for the Ladbrokes book. And in this race as well, because he's occupying the top line of betting, having gone $2.90 into $2.35. Now, Timzu is the other one that they've wanted in the market, though, $2.80 into $2.70, and $7.50 back gets laid early. The rest of them double figures. It's all about Gold Force and Timzu in this market. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
And we'll take a look at the speed map here as well for race number 5. This is the third of the semi-finals for the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Gold Force drawn an 8, but I don't think that's actually going to really worry this greyhound. I'd expect him to likely probably jump on terms, to be honest, but then he's got that brilliant acceleration. He'll get into his work. I think he's the one to beat here.
It's interesting. Gold Force goes through the Goulburn MDC, trained locally on the track. He's a track record holder. He was drawn beautifully to get a run around them down there. Hasn't put a paw wrong. He's been to Wenty a few times, Liz. 29.4, I reckon, is his PB off the top of my head. Has he had enough experience yet to tackle a race like this, do you think?
Look, I think he has with the way that he's been going. He's had 3 starts here at Wentworth Park. They've all been pretty good, 29.42. That was back in December. He hasn't been here in quite a while. He turned 3 in August. He's pretty lightly tried, as I said earlier, because he's just had the 13 race day starts, but I think he's very hard to beat. He's big as well. He's nearly 40 kgs, this dog.
Yeah, he's a huge lump. Hey, let's go straight to the dog's mouth, or horse's mouth. Denise Warren. She joined Mick Cowley.
Denise Warren here, Gold Force in the next semi-final. How's the lead-up been for you?
It's been good. Just a normal preparation. So we just hope now that it's in the lap of the gods.
He's a young dog with a stack of ability, a stack of talent. He just needs a bit of clear air tonight, you think?
Yeah, a bit of clear air. He's not brilliant out of the boxes, but shows nice pace. So just hoping we get through that first corner without any problems.
He's done some sensational things around the one turn at Goulburn, but he also has performed pretty well here as well.
Yes. Like, he's learned to handle the circle now, so hopefully this is where his future's got to be now, on the circle. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Your background, obviously family in a lot of big harness racing events. Yeah, yourself, you've been in this industry a while. What's $1 Million Chase final mean to you to get one through?
It'd be fantastic just to get through into the final. It'd be, great for the family, but also his owner, which is into the harness. So Michael would be over the moon if he could get through.
Fingers crossed. Best of luck tonight from out in box 8.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I love Denise Warren, always very generous with the time. And there's Gold Force, the big fella, ready to rock and roll. Current 2.35 favourite, and they've come for him as well. Open 2.90. Now he's rock solid, taking over Tim Zoo. Let's get through these greyhounds as they start their walk to the boxes 3 minutes away from the biggest race of their lives for some of them. Coringa Millie trialled last week. Liz, 29.8 here at Wenty.
Yeah, not a bad trial here. The majority of her races have been at Casino. That's where she qualified for the semi-final by winning the Casino Regional Qualifier about a month ago. That was off box 1, but she gets here again tonight. She's got that great early pace. That's definitely an asset that she brings to this. She loves box 1, and I think she's one to include in your first fours.
I tell you why I love Tim Zoo, because Coast Rig is drawn inside and she just goes like the clappers early. Group 1 winner and building a really good resume.
I really like Coast Rig. I've got her in for second here. Trish Shaker said to me that she'll need to lead to win. She can't afford to make any mistakes, but she is capable of making the final. I really like her. She's so honest. She very rarely goes a bad race. Her last at the Gardens 2 starts ago in the Group 2 size on ice blacktop final. That was an absolute forgive run. No luck whatsoever. Go off that prior last start win here instead when she beat home Paul Vortex. Off the one, came out running and won in 29.73. As you mentioned, there's got a good record here. She's previously gone 29.56, one ahead of the Peter Mossman Opal. I think she's a big winning chance off the 2.
Yeah, the head of the Blacktop 2, she pushed Sooty Keeping for a fair while, who's probably the best race bitch here in New South Wales, or at least was until Ariza Sparkles came out tonight. Tim Zhu, speaking of resumes, this bloke has done it all, and as I mentioned off the top, in case you missed it, Jace Thompson said he's the best bet for the kennel tonight.
Winner of $826,000. Wouldn't you love to own or train a greyhound like this? He's another big unit. He's about 37 kgs. He's a class act. Clearly a big chance, and good to hear that Jason Thompson's got that confidence. I think he's amazing. I think he's a star, but to be honest, I wasn't feeling super confident about him after his last start at Sandown. That was 8 days ago. He was sent out the $1.50 favourite. He finished 4th. To be fair, he was only fairly away. Then he got a huge shunt during the race. But with that being said, he probably still didn't finish the race off quite like I thought he would.
Zipping Admiral's a big price. We'll jump over it. Gets late early. Minnie Finn said tonight, best chance out of her kennel. The Evergreen gets late early.
Yes, Gets Late Early comes up with box 5, was terrific in winning her city qualifier on Saturday night. Good to hear that confidence as well from Minnie Finn. She tells me that she pulled up really well after the run. She's feeling really good, and she likes it from the middle boxes, which is a little bit different. Hopefully she gets some luck here off the 5.
Werrisbale goes from the 6, gets a late run after being in the Sydney Cup heats. Foreign Capital's $14 from box 7. Gold Force in the 8. Quick thoughts on them, Liz?
Yeah, Gold Force I think is the one to beat here off the 8. Lightly tried. Box 8, don't mind him from being out here. I think he's going to jump on terms, but he's got that terrific turn of foot.
Yeah, he's a beast. Jared Timms, market mover and a tip, please.
Well, the market mover is Gets Late Early for Minnie Finn. $9 into $5.50 now, so a good late push there for Gets Late Early. But Gold Force for me, the Ladbrokes bookies are not going to like hearing me say that. It's a horror result tonight and in the final, but absolutely airborne. Gold Force for me here.
Liz's lock?
Gold Force.
I'm with Tim Zhu. I can't knock Jason Thompson. He's the best in the business, and this dog hopefully is ready to fly tonight for punters at home. Just keeping a quick score. Liz has tipped the house down already. So if you want to back someone, back her with confidence. All right, Russell Veach, semi-final number 3. Already 2 greyhounds through. Zipping Aerial and Ariza Sparkles to the big dance next week. Friday, October 17, the $1 Million Chase, the 8th ever edition as they just meander on behind. There's Tim Zhu about to go in, courtesy of Team Thompson. Let's throw it up to Russell Veach.
Back of the boxes now. Big moment for Holly King. Handling for Courtney Barnes, who's looking for 2 in. Holly with Zipping Admiral here. As runners are preparing to get set. 270 Temzu, 260 for Gold Force, looking for 4 on the trot. The big boy. The big brute of a boy. He's almost 40 kilos for Denise Warren. And he draws box number 8 here. Semi-final number 3. Winner to join. Ariza Sparkles and Zipping Ariel. They're set. Ready. And racing, he flopped out Gold Force, out fast Karingamilli, will lead him from Coast Rig early, into 3rd spot is Zipping Admiral, followed by Tim Zhu, Werrisbale very deep, Gold Force got off his heels, and then came Foreign Capital, down the back and Karingamilli's length and a half in front of Coast Rig and Gets Late Early running on, 4 lengths away to Zipping Admiral, Foreign Capital, no Gold Force, on the home corner, Coast Rig getting up underneath of Karingamilli, Gets Late Early, Karingamilli, Coast Rig and Gets Late Early, flying late, Foreign Capital. Foreign Capital beats them all with a mighty run. He got home to beat 2nd Coast Rig, followed by Gets Late Early. Then came Werrisbale. Karingamilli won a cracking race. A long way away to Tim's, who couldn't get in the hunt there. And it was one of the last to pull up. And the race time is 29.9.
Wow, throw a blanket over him at the end, but Foreign Capital sticks his nose out half a length on the line. Vic Sultana, this dog hasn't won a race since June. Always feels like he's around the mark, and what do you know, he's through to the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. Give us your thoughts.
That's been an incredible performance by him, and look, it was sort of anyone's race to win there coming down the home straight. 29.90 there. Foreign Capital has been too good. Came in with box 7 again tonight. The draws haven't looked good lately, but this is also a dog who went 29.37 here back in June and ahead of the Group 1 Vic Peters Classic. It's always a little bit hard to know what you're going to get on the night, but tonight he's brought his best.
Gee whiz, it was a messy race. Look at the finish on there. Gets Late Early, he's up there prominent. Thought she was going to lap around and maybe get her way in. Coast Rig was there pretty much the entire race. Two names we didn't hear anything from, Goldforce and Tim Zoo, completely out the back. Foreign Capital punches up the inside and gets through to the biggest race of his career. For Vic Sultana, congratulations to him. Big drifter as well. Opened at $7, out to 16. Let's get down to Mick Cowley, who's got connections.
And I am here with Darren Sultana. Darren, you were just telling me, watching down the back straight when it was fifth, you kind of gave up.
Yeah, well, I started watching the leaders because he was that far back, and next minute he snuck up on the fence. So very lucky.
You've got to have luck to get into these races. You're into next week's $1 Million Chase final. Take us back 2018 when your dad had Skywave in that final. It must have been an exciting time for the family.
Yeah, I suppose it was the first one. So yeah, at least he made it as well.
Does the old man get excited still?
He doesn't show it, but he does, yeah.
What about yourself? Do you get excited? You've had a lot of good dogs over the years, particularly up the straight. Do you get excited with getting into a $1 million race?
Oh, why wouldn't you? If you didn't, there's something wrong, so yeah.
You'd have to check your pulse. Buddy, coming into this series, did you give this dog much hope to get through? Obviously, it had a bit of ability, hasn't won since June, but certainly has some ability.
Yeah, he's just been having no luck. Like his last few runs, he was nearly leading a couple of times and he fell over once. Box draws have been killing him today, the same thing. We just fought his 100 to 1, and yeah, he made his own luck today and got through. So
strange things happen in big races.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hey, good luck next week, buddy.
Thank you. We'll be needing it.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Darren Sultana there with Mick Cowley. I mentioned the drift, massive drift. Jared, what was the final price for Foreign Capital as we see Darren Sultana? Maybe he'll break into a smile. Let's have a look. Anything? Give us something, Darren. Give us something. Just a little.
Yeah.
That's as pumped as I reckon Daz gets. Price, mate.
7 out to $16 there, Simon. So if you found it, you're having a very, very good night on the park.
You are. Look at that. Straight out of the boxes, gets bumped, gets overtaken by Goldforce, and is last as they go through the first bend. This is a hell of a run.
This has been a huge run, as you say. Gets back to last year early, finds the rails, and that's been the key for the greyhound here. Finds the rails, just keeps on driving through the field. But here, even still here, it didn't really look like a winning chance.
No, not at all. Coast Rig probably punching up underneath. Karinga Millie and Gets Late Early all sort of jostling with one another. And then, hello, Foreign Capital says, I'd like to race for $1 million. Here I come. As I said, messy race. A lot of places to look. The two favourites never got a chance. We go to Sniper Cam as well, and you can see them squeezing in on each other at the start there. Tim Zoo didn't have a lot of room. Zipping Admirable's coming across and getting in the way. I think it was the reserve, Werris Bale, maybe knocking Goldforce out of the race. And all of a sudden, this is where Darren Sultana gave up. And rightly so, because you've got a Group 1 winner in Coast Rig who took out the Peter Mossman Opal, went through the Megastar and the Blacktop Series, highballing out in front. You've got Gets Late Early, who seems to win every other race that she goes in, and Foreign Capital sweeps through underneath and gets the job done. The final time, nothing to really write home about. I think it was 29.9 on the clock, but it doesn't matter because the Sultana boys, Darren and Vic, are through to $1 million chase final. It was interesting. Just clicked in my memory, Skywave, I'm pretty sure, ran third in the first ever $1 million chase for Vic Sultana. I'm getting it correct in my ear, which is great memory, I guess, for me, if nothing else. But there you go, first ever $1 million chase back in 2018. Skywave ran a drum, and now, here we are, 7 years later, back into another. Look at this, false witness. Wow. Remarkable that he even kept his feet. Out there in the black rug, he looked sideways and upside down, and gee, they're brave and bold, aren't they, these greyhounds going into the first bend?
They certainly are, and look, once you're in the final, I know 29.90 tonight, but anything can happen. We saw that with Blue Camaro last year. Once you're in, you can win.
Yeah, he's spot on. And this dog's been, as I mentioned, there and thereabouts. Not in the upper echelon of chases in the last 6 months, but always just on the heels of some really good ones. You go back through his form, and it's littered with races against group calibre greyhounds, and that's the picture there, last with 400 metres to run, and there he is through to $1 million chase final. So it's all happening. 3 semi-finals down, 3 runners through to next week's big dance. They'll race for $1 million, and tell you what, it's been a massive couple of months, guys, for racing here in New South Wales. September 11, we said goodbye to Dapto, the final ever race meet. Jared, you were there. I was on track as well. just some quick thoughts from you on what sort of night that was?
That was probably my most enjoyable night on a New South Wales greyhound track, Simon. And I'm not just saying that, honestly, it was absolutely packed. I wasn't there in the 1970s, obviously, but it felt like we were there in the 1970s, the absolute heydays of Dapto. So many people, everyone having a win. Great racing. The calling all night was sensational. A tick in every box.
Yeah, plenty of emotion as well. We just needed, I think, 100 bookies out the back like the old days, so all the guys could go and have a plunge. But I tell you what we did do. We captured some wonderful footage, not only that night throughout the week leading up, but also delved back into the history books. And Mark Duclos, a great old mate of ours who used to sit right here and do this job, he taught me everything I know. He put together this wonderful piece as we have a look back on what Dapto means to greyhound racing here in Australia.
There is always something there to remind me.
Nothing draws a crowd like a big farewell party.
Something there to remind me.
Don't make me cry, mate.
Always something there to remind me.
But I want people not to think about the sadness, but about the joy they got out of coming to this track. Go anywhere in Australia, most people know Dapto dogs.
When you came to Dapto, the punters and everybody involved were happy.
In the late 1930s, the scars of the Great Depression still ran deep in Australia, but optimism was returning. Dapto was like so many other working class towns, with one exception. On February the 25th, 1937, a greyhound track opened, and it soon became the heartbeat of the Illawarra. The magic of Dapto was never in its grandeur. It was the community spirit. Working class, grassroots and proud. But that was then, and this is now. And on September the 11th, 2025, the lights go out on this iconic racetrack for the very last time.
It's been running for almost 90 years. So there's 3 or 4 generations of trainers and participants been coming to this track. Plus the local community's been coming here for that many years.
I've had a lot of good times here, and a lot of good dogs come through here. So many memories, I just can't.
Such a boutique track, such a special track, so close to the broadcast booth.
People don't understand that if you went to Canada and said, you know, do you know greyhound racing in Australia? Or you know that Dapto dogs, I'll say, is known worldwide. It's as simple as that.
4, 3, 2 and 1, odd numbers to the front line, please.
Dapto was always a trailblazer. In 1939, they became the first greyhound club in New South Wales to race under lights. And then in 1991, Leviathan club manager Bill Dwyer created the Supercoat Classic, the first greyhound race in the world, worth $100,000 to the winner.
The close association I had with Billy Dwyer for so many years was just magic. It really was. He was a magic person. He loved to work and work hard, and he was great for greyhound racing.
Exclusive readers, 66, Fatty, all these dogs are at 6. Is this some sort of a setup? Surely you can't be serious.
As the decades rolled on, Dapto's reputation grew, and in the late 1990s, the track hit mainstream media. The Channel 9 footy show, a greyhound named Nads, and rugby league star Terry Hill ensured that Dapto dogs became part of the Australian vernacular.
George Bagana, how are you, George?
Good, thanks.
If it wasn't for the footy show and Nads, Dapto, not a lot of people would have heard, but once they hit the air on a Thursday night, everyone seemed to know Dapto and go Nads.
There's 12 races to be decided for the last ever meeting. As the afternoon sun sets, trainers converge with their chargers, hopeful that they'll etch their name in the history books on the final night of racing. The crowds flock in one last time. The gates are closed, the house full sign goes up. For this is the end of an era.
As a Victorian, the one place you knew in New South Wales when it came to dogs was Dapto.
I owned a greyhound once, and he won his first race here, and it just brings back a lot of memories. It's terrific.
Everyone goes, where do you come from? You go, Dapto. What do they say? Dapto dogs. I had dogs I trained here, dogs I raced here, and just had fun.
Every vantage point possible has been taken as the last ever Group 1 Dapto megastar is run and won.
Going to rise and sparkles out by 2. On Skedaddle, Arlo 2 lengths away. Delicate and Dynamic Drummer. It's still in front of Rise and Sparkles, just holding on and gripped on the win.
I breed 2 litters a year, mate, and these are our dogs. I bring them into the world, and you're just happy if you win a race.
You're a Group 1 winning trainer.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
For those keen on a Dapto keepsake, the famous winning post gets sold in a charity auction. But as the clock ticks down, so too do the races, until there is just one left. Dogs and their handlers make their way to the starting boxes for the very last time, and legendary racecaller Paul Ambrosoli has been given the honour.
The money is set in motion for the last time ever at Dapto Greyhounds 2025 racing. Coming to the corner, Dromidas has got a long lead. In front is Tor Major, and Tor Major is going to win easily.
The last ever race at Dapto. How does this feel, mate?
The fans converge on the track to claim their own piece of memorabilia as dogs and trainers depart, never to return here again. But the memories will remain. Memories of champions, of families, and of nights that will never be forgotten. From its humble beginnings to its halcyon days, Dapto has provided a lifetime of memories. But tonight the lights are turned off one last time.
There she goes, farewell to a wonderful venue that's had so many great memories for so many people over the years. Jared, you were there. You got on track at the end, got a keepsake as well. That was pretty cool, taking home some sand from Dapto.
Excellent, yeah. A historic and famous track. It was great to be there all night, Simon, and to take home a jar of the track, still sitting on my desk at the Ladbrokes offices, so
How much
I'll
will
have
it
it
be
forever.
worth down the track, do you reckon? There's probably, what, 200 jars of Dapto sand?
There would have been more than that. There was, wheelbarrows full of them, honestly, going out of there. So
someone said on the, I think it was Glennie Goodwin, who obviously lives locally and races at Dapto all the time. Mate, why do I want sand? I go to my van, it just falls out every time I get home because the dogs are always dragging it back to his place. But no, it was great. Liz, watching on and seeing that great piece, I should say, from Mark Duclos. Great memories for the industry, the glory days at Dapto, and it's been synonymous with greyhound racing, hasn't it?
Absolutely iconic. Being from New Zealand, everyone talks about the Dapto dogs as well. One of my first ever trips to Sydney, I came over to Wentworth Park and the Dapto dogs. Glenn Goodwin very kindly hosted me, funnily enough, that night.
Did he just?
He did. It's very sad to see it go, but I'm also equally really happy that it was such a huge night there for the finale.
Yeah, it was spot on. I reckon 4,000 people, they tell me, standing room only. The bar line was as long as you could ever see, so that was probably the only thing people were unhappy about, but gee, everyone had a good time. There was even some blokes at the end of the night racing from the boxes to the finishing post, and I can only talk a little bit about it. They just kept taking more and more clothes off, guys.
Like how many clothes?
Most of the clothes started coming
I'd
off.
hit the highway by then, thank goodness.
One man who was having a great night was Andrew Rowe. I tell you what, I interviewed him after the last, and he should have taken the mic home. He just loved it. He was there with the adoring fans. He joins Mick Cowley because he's got a runner in the next semi-final, Tor Major. Down to you, Mick.
Always remember that last night at Dapto, won't you?
Forever and ever and ever. That's for sure and certain, yes. Yeah, I'll never forget it, mate. No, yeah, that's right.
Have you stopped celebrating that night?
No, I haven't stopped celebrating. It's been pretty good. Yeah, it's always going to live with me, that's for sure and certain, yes. And the whole lot of our family, that's for sure and certain.
Hey, now, this is the dog that actually won that last race. Drawn box 1 tonight. What are the thoughts?
He's perfectly boxed, so that's one good thing. Just got to try and hold that rail, jump good, hold that rail, and I just need a bit of luck at the first turn, and yeah, I'm just going to need a little bit of luck at the first turn, just try and get a good posse going past the 700 boxes and just not too far off from my hope.
Mate, it'd be nice to be on the back of potentially the lead of the two.
Yeah, that would be lovely going down the back. That would be awesome because he's fairly strong, and yeah, I know he can run probably, you know, he's a good 600 metre dog, so yeah, he's fairly strong. His last section's pretty good.
Mate, there's no need for me to ask you what it'd mean to win a $1 million race. I'll just ask you next week after you do it, all right?
That would be absolutely awesome. Would be great stuff. Thank you.
Best of luck tonight, mate.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Mick.
Rowie, what a champion. Used to drive the lure here at Wentworth Park. Now he's got some pretty good dogs. These dogs are out of Wow as well. And we mentioned Firethorn earlier on. Wow starting to throw some pretty good pups. Tell you what, Rowie's had some good moments this year. Won the last at Dapto. He won the Magic Maiden back here in Easter. $1 million chase. Let's wait and see what can happen in the next 10 minutes. Could be on his way through to a final. This is race 6 on the program. Ladbrokes $1 million chase semi-final number 4. Jared Timms is here from Ladbrokes. Give us a market update, mate.
Well, it's all about Lakeview Emily here, Simon. We've spoken about her at length this evening. She looks very, very well placed here in box number 2. And the Ladbrokes punters have certainly agreed with me. $2.50 did actually touch $2.05 only about 10 minutes ago. Back out to $2.30 now. But as I said, easily the best back greyhound in this race. Tour Major, we were just talking about there, certainly not hopeless if the Ladbrokes market is to be believed. $6 to sit on the second line of betting alongside Pork One. $8 each about Trunky Chief and Kanya Sapphire. But like I said, it is all about Lakeview Emily here ahead of the Ladbrokes $1 million chase semi-final number 4. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
And we'll take a look at the speed map here for semi-final number 4 of the Ladbrokes $1 million chase. Lakeview Emily, I'm pretty sure is drawn to lead here off box 2. Personal view is that it's her race to lose here. Tour Major drawn the inside, has to be given a big hope. And Kanya Sapphire, I think, also makes the field interesting here. Comes into box 8 and she's another one with a bit of early pace.
This is real danger areas because Lakeview Emily is your best bet, Liz, your best bet, Jared, and I've got her on top as well. So in about 10 minutes' time, we're all going to look like geniuses or absolute mugs or even bigger mugs. Let's see how we can go. Hey, Harley Whelan trains the dog. Let's find out from him, straight from his mouth, whether or not Lakeview Emily's ready to rock and roll here tonight. He joined Mick Cowley.
Harley Whelan, welcome back to Wentworth Park, mate. You've Easter egg here last year, wasn't too far away, hoping to go a bit further in the $1 million chase tonight.
Yeah, it'd be nice. No, she looks like she's got her chance, so come up with a good draw. So no, if we go a couple better, it'd be nice.
Mate, she deserves a big one, doesn't she? She's been close in that many.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're always hoping to get them, but she has nothing left to prove to us. But yeah, to put one beside her name would be real nice.
You mentioned the good draw box too. Yeah. She races the way she races out on the bunny, so I guess straight to the fence and away you go. See whether they can get around her.
Yeah, no, it sounds good, doesn't it? No, if she jumps and she can run her race, it looks her race to lose really. But it's yeah, there's a difference between talking about it and then coming out and doing it. So no, it's all up to her now.
You mentioned that she owes you nothing. She's been a fantastic bitch for you guys.
No, she has been. She's probably once in a lifetime dog. So soak it up while we can.
Best of luck tonight.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty confident. There she is. There's our girl. She's a beautiful looking greyhound, isn't she? One ear up, one ear down. Harley Whelan has travelled with this dog, will travel, taken her to all the big races all around the country. I think tonight is her night, Liz.
I think tonight's her night as well, and she deserves to win a big race. She looks ready to go with her ears pricked a little bit here. 6.5 minutes away, and number 1 Tour Major gets the nice draw here off the one as well.
Yeah, you're spot on. Let's talk a little bit more about this dog. I think loves inside draws. You know, some dogs, obviously a lot of dogs do prefer that, but for this litter especially, they seem to race better from 1, 2 and 3, and he was a really tough winner at a short price last week.
I think he's a pretty good chance here. He owns a 29.60 PB here as well. He set that back in July off box 4, and he was also good enough to finish second in the Group 1 Vic Peters Classic final back in July as well, and behind Gus the Jet. So often he keeps being sent out at big prices, but so often he just keeps on delivering, and he can't be left out here.
Yeah, $6 is juicy, especially if he gets onto the back of that girl. Andrew Rose said after that Vic Peters win, this is a staying superstar in the making. So his future lies over further. Watch out if he gets on the tail of this girl. Let's talk a bit more about her. Great early pace, and so far tonight we've seen that's been pretty good for a couple of leaders who've gone all the way. Last week, just had a little think about things, but hopefully tonight that's out of her system.
I think she's definitely the one to beat. She's made plenty of feature finals. She deserves to get a big win as well. She's no stranger to Wentworth Park. She was third in the Easter egg back in April after initially leading off box 5, and the previous week she also went 29.44 here when placing in her semi-final. She was second in the Group 1 Sapphire Crown final at Sandown a few months ago, and she won the Group 2 Shepparton Cup final earlier this year as well. She's got terrific box speed. She's drawn perfectly. She's very, very fast, and I think she's the one to beat.
$650,000 in prize money. That sort of snuck up on me. I knew she was good, but gee whiz, that's a hell of a career for Lakeview Emily. Flash on by. Gee, Jack Smith said after the Tamora $1 Million Chase final that this bloke's probably no chance of winning the $1 Million Chase. He's a big price here tonight, $41. What do you think?
Look, again, as I said before, once you're in the field, anything can happen. He's probably likely to find a few of these too sharp, but you know, he is strong. That's evidenced by his 700 metre form as well. Not typically the quickest of beginners, but he should be hitting the line well.
Tell you what, if you want one at almost a double figure price, Tarawai Buster trialled the house down last week. Many people have said that about many animals in the past, but 29.55 made me sit up and take notice first look at Wenty.
I absolutely agree as well, and you'd think that would be improved for that first look trialling here in 29.55. The Queenslander has had a really interesting sort of a racing career. 5 starts ago, he was 4th in a national straight track championship at the Q. Tonight he's lining up in a semi-final of the $1 Million Chase. He's another greyhound who's not super quick away, so he's going to need some luck, but when he finds clear air, he's got a terrific turn of foot. I think particularly based on that trial performance, he's a must include.
Yeah, he's spot on, but the 3 Flash on By's not quick, the 5 Zipping Chetty's not quick, so who knows, maybe he'll end up in the right spot. Let's talk about Zipping Chetty. Courtney Barnes is already playing with house money. Another handy little dog who ran a really good race in the Blacktop final. Yeah,
absolutely. The only thing that I guess makes me question her a little bit tonight is the box draw, particularly with her average beginnings. But I guess the other thing too, last start at Richmond, she was the $1.40 favourite. I get that she was only narrowly beaten and she hit the line well, but I also kind of thought that she had her opportunity, so she's more of a watch for me tonight.
Paul Kwan, Mark Delbridge and Lisa Delbridge, I should say. Good winner to open the card last Saturday night. Was around 29.4 from memory. We'll be pushing forward early and come through that Broken Hill series.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good win last week in anticipation of the semi-final tonight. Mark Delbridge did tell me he doesn't particularly rate either his runners' chances super highly tonight just because of where they're drawn. He would have preferred them both to be drawn down closer to the rails. But look, I mean, he's still clearly a chance, especially with Trunky Chief and Kenya Sapphire drawn to his outside as well, who could set this race up.
Gee, Chunky Chief, really good winner last week. 62 starts, 20 wins. Loves racing here at Wenty, but I don't think, it's a dog that wants the fence, right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's won just over $100,000 in prize money. He's also gone 29.49 here in the past, and that was only 2 starts ago when he finished second behind Cumbria Jack at big odds. I can see him jumping pretty well, but as you say, he's got the potential to cause some issues. I can see him getting a nice trip, potentially settling in second and behind Lakeview Emily, and I've got him in for second here.
And the 8, Maggie's Ethics, Western Lies, comes out. Kenya Sapphire goes in for Jace Magri. 28 starts, 13 wins, 8 minors. Another greyhound that's got pretty good early pace, but box 8 makes it pretty tough.
I'm glad to see her getting a chance in a semi-final tonight because I think she is potentially a chance here. We've seen her finish 5th in the final of the Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal back in July. Her last couple of starts have been here at Wenty, and she finished second in both after leading most of the way. As you mentioned, one who's got early pace and could be up there early.
Tell you what, they are coming for Lakeview Emily. Is she the market mover, Jared?
She certainly is, Simon. Yeah, into $2.05 now, and accounts for more than 75% of the Ladbrokes hold in this race.
And your best bet as well, Liz, just one final thought on why Lakeview Emily's the best on the card tonight for you?
I just think she's an ideal race dog. She's sort of got it all. She's strong. She's got box speed. I think she'll be leading them, and I think we may need to start a GoFundMe page if she gets beaten tonight for myself.
I'll tell you what, she's carrying an extra, well, I'm not going to judge your weight, but me and Jared, 80, 160 kilos at least?
Yeah, I'd say about that, yeah.
So she's going to have to be good, but you're right. On paper, it just looks like a race devoid of a stack of early pace. 6, 7 and 8 probably going to go forward, but not a stack of pace elsewhere. Lakeview Emily, a greyhound that does her best work out on the arm, and she's got form around some of the best group greyhounds around the country, especially down there in Victoria. So best bet for Liz, best bet for me, best bet for Jared Timms, and the market mover, $2.50 into $2. They continue to come. I guess the last question, what price do you not want to get involved in, Liz? Or is it a case of, I don't care, I'm in?
I don't think I'd be wanting to get on if she was odds on. I think she was representing a bit of value earlier on. Her price is probably about right now for mine.
Okay, bit of value around. Just quickly, Tarawai Buster on the back of that. Great trial performance, 7 out to 12. Paul Kwan, a really good winner here last week. You can get $6 about him. And Trunky Chief, a dog that no one's riding off, but certainly is going to have to do it the hard way from box 7. You can get double figures as well. So if you don't like the favourite and you didn't like what you saw last week here at Wentworth Park going down to Zipping Deckers, there is a bit of value to be playing around in semi-final number 4 of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Already tonight, if you're just joining us, Ariza Sparkles was dazzling, the fastest ever race bitch around Wentworth Park. She's through to the final next week. Zipping Aerial for Courtney Barnes. Foreign Capital, an absolute boil over for Vic Sultana and Darren Sultana. And here we are now, the 4th semi-final. Let's throw it up to Russell Veach with Lakeview Emily, a raging hot favourite.
Thank you, Nath. And about to move forward here. Field of 8 to run. Tall Major winning the last ever Dapto race for Team Rowe. Adrian about to place that greyhound in at $6. And Lakeview Emily, the Victorian Flyer, the favourite from box number 2 here. Nibble for Trunky Chief Anthony Godden, a 10-time winner here. Semi-final 4 of the $1 Million Chase. Green light is on. Here's the provocateur. They're set to fly. Ready. Racing, Lakeview Emily begin just fairly. Kenya Sapphire charged out at Tall Major, goes with it early, but Kenya Sapphire's got too much speed and put 4 lengths now on Tall Major, getting through them. Tarawai Buster, Zipping Chitty the rail. Outwater is Trunky Chief, followed by Lakeview Emily's a long way back in the race with Paul Kwan and Flash on by. Heading off the back end, the leader. In front is Kenya Sapphire, half length clear. Here's Tarawai Buster out after it now. Trying to get through is Tall Major. In front, Kenya Sapphire goes all the way for Jason Magri. Won it by 3.5 lengths to Tall Major and Zipping Chetty out of the ground into 3rd placing. They're followed by Paul Kwan and Tarawai Buster. Flash on by Leighton the piece. Lakeview Emily never a factor, and the time is 29.59.
Kenya Sapphire out of the Young Star and into the fire of the $1 Million Chase semi-finals, and she does what she does best. She jumps, she leads, and she just keeps on running, baby. Look at that, 2 lengths on the line. Wonderful win for Jason Magri, and good on him because he's come oh so close in a lot of big races. He's arguably the best trainer here in New South Wales. He leads the winners again in 2025. He's done this for the last few years, and he's got a lot of greyhounds like this girl who make their own luck on speed. Tonight, he gets the chockies, and he's through to the big dance. He's hoping to go one better, of course, Zipping Megatron running 2nd in the race last year, but as has been the case tonight, Liz, greyhounds that get out on the arm prove really hard to run down, and that's the winning move. I thought Tall Major was going to gobble her up, but she pulled away. She's through to the $1 Million Chase final.
And off the ballot and through to the $1 Million Chase final next week, Kenya Sapphire. She's been really impressive. She's won it at Box Rise for Jason Magri. She's gone to the lead, and as you say, another front-running performance here gets the win.
I tell you what, Lakeview Emily missed the jump just ever so slightly, and from there, gee, it was a tough watch. Finished at the back of the field. Tall Major, Andrew and Deb Rowe must think, what do we got to do to get a big race, because that was theirs for the taking. But anyway, full credit to the winner. Mick Cowley is joined by Jace Magri, who's through to another big dance.
Jace Magri, you are through to another big one, mate. Congratulations. Bit of a surprise, or not really, once you got a start?
Oh, when I got a start, I wasn't happy, but she likes being out there, so she come out running tonight and run a good section and stuck on. They scrimmaged on the home turn. She found something, so she's a little try and she's getting better.
Mate, you're absolutely right. She did find something. It looked like they were swamping her, but she did kick a bit.
Yeah, she did. So she's gutsy. She keeps trying. So she had a bad fall at that. I was just taking her a couple of runs to start getting her confidence back. So I just hope that's another confidence in the right way.
The last year or so, you've had a lot of feature race finalists. You had one in this final last year. You came, half a length, 3/4 of a length. I don't want to remind you, but it's good to get another shot at it, I guess.
Yeah, it is. So she's probably going to be millions, but we're there and anything can happen.
A big race, you're a 1 in 8 chance. If you run second tonight, you're not even in.
That's right, correct.
Hey, good luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Good on him, Jace Magri, wearing the number 9 reserve. She got to run not last minute, but late, with Western Lies coming out of the 8. And Jace will give us something. He loves a celebration. Let's see. Come on, big man. Off with the bib and up with the thumbs. Good fella. Love that. Jace, oh, there it is. He gives it some. Good boy. Good on him. As I mentioned last year, gee, so close for Zipping Megatron. Let's have another look. There she is out wide. Gee, she's a flyer early. 5:38, I think, was the first section time. I got to admit, Liz and Jared, I thought here, Tarawai Buster off the back of the trial and Tall Major with that wonderful staying or potential staying prowess. She was right for the picking, but she just kept punching away, didn't she?
Yeah, look, I thought that as well, particularly here when you start to see Tarawai Buster starting to loom. But wow, she's been impressive, straight to the lead. She's managed to cut across all of the field. And you saw them at box rise there as well. You could just see Lakeview Emily trying to anticipate the start, which did not come off tonight.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the head-on footage, which we've got here tonight, thanks to all the team in the truck and out on track doing a wonderful job bringing us these great pictures. Let's have a look. So the 9 is the winner out on the left, and Lakeview Emily second from the right. Not too bad, to be honest, but from here just maybe didn't have that acceleration that we know. The one, this is interesting, isn't it, Liz? Some greyhounds like to be out in front with no pressure, and Tall Major, who's not the best beginner, but as we mentioned in the prelude, does like early inside draws, maybe just got out and took the lure away, and you can see there, pushing her up the track made it pretty hard.
Yeah, certainly has, and as you can see, they're still trying
Great
to angle out, but Kenya Sapphire's missed all of that. She's just jumped to the lead, cut across, and completely missed everything there with Tall Major on the inside.
Interesting that Jace Magri said she wants to be wide. Look, we're going to see some footage here from behind the boxes as they go. So the 1 and the 2 are jostling on the inside to your left of screen, and out wide on the right. There's Kenya Sapphire just sailing across, and look at that. It's a real mash-up, isn't it, heading into the first bend. Would you want box 8 in a $1 million chase final next week, knowing how many good dogs are going to be in the race? Can she do that against the absolute best? Well, look, 5:38. It's going to be hard to top. We saw Ariza Sparkles run similar sort of section early on. It's not the worst place to be. You get a crack at them.
No, look, it's a really interesting question because I think here at Wenty you'd usually typically prefer to be drawn the inside if you've got pace. But for her, looking at that run there, you know, out wide, out of trouble as well, potentially for a field last week, maybe not the worst place to be.
I remember She's a Pearl 3 years ago. They wanted, maybe it didn't want box 5, but they certainly thought box 5 wasn't the worst place to be. They thought it'd give a good crack at the lure. She's got that great pace. So from there, you can cut down to the fence. Maybe for Jace Magri, knowing who's in the final so far, as long as he's drawn inside Ariza Sparkles, gee, Kenya Sapphire is going to be right in the race next week if she's going to repeat that form. I mentioned comes out of the young star. I texted Jace last night and said, you happy about that? And he said, oh, it is what it is. We're in to the $1 million chase. And now he's through to the final. So good on him. Jason Magri, the 4th dog through to the big one, the $1 million chase final, courtesy of Ladbrokes, right here at Wentworth Park next week, Friday, October 17. Jump online, $1millionchase.com.au to get your tickets. It's only $10 and you can come in and be treated to all of these people. Hello Sport down the bottom will have their mob. I was going to say pitch side, track side, $150 you can join them for all you can drink throughout the night. That's going to be absolute chaos. Big John, he'll be here. I think he's running the Bucking Bull competition because it's a country theme, as I mentioned. I'm not joking, country theme next week, so he'll be there. There's some cash prizes, I think, for the Bucking Bull comp as well. The Ute, the Kia Tasman Ute, Mitch Moses and James Tedesco, our wonderful ambassadors there on the right, holding up the $1 million chase trophy. That is going to be driven out the gates hopefully next week. 10 lucky punters will get the chance to kick a footy, a Steeden footy, 20 metres. If you can land it in the back of the Ute, guys, you could drive away the Kia Tasman. We've only got one, so if the first person does it, it's going to be a hell of a party, but also the biggest anticlimax ever for the previous, for the following 9. There's the Ute now. That's the car that you could win. Last year, coincidentally, we tried this with a cash prize, and Joshy Formosa, this will be one of the great trivia pieces, he went on to win the $1 million chase. He also kicked for the cash earlier in the night.
He was easily the best kick for cash as well. You can tell that he'd played a lot of footy in his time, but even he was 50 metres away from it, yeah.
We knew when Ryan Papenhausen was out there just saying,
battling.
Turf's a bit wet and no, he was a wonderful sport out there. It was raining as well, so it made conditions were terrible.
Difficult night.
Yeah, difficult night. Hey, get some divvies out of the way, Jared, for us from that last race.
We did actually see a little bit of interest for Kenya Sapphire late there. We were up with $12, ended up jumping at around that $10 mark there, Simon. So some interest for Kenya Sapphire, and again, if you found him, you're having a great night on the punt at Ladbrokes.
Yeah, wonderful performance there. Another roughie gets up. So the punters are on the floor, and we're going to have to walk home with our tail between our legs, guys, because Lakeview Emily was our best bet. Well, at least your guy's best bet.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I just
Who was your best bet?
Tim Zoo.
Sorry.
Forget about that as well, unfortunately. Hey, you have those nights. This is what dog racing's all about. Hey, race number 7. We're 8 minutes away, and this is another absolute ripper. Power and Glory out wide, the reigning Golden Easter Egg champion. Tracker, one of the runs of the year in the Blacktop. Still don't know where he came from to win that race. And Flying Zulu, we mentioned off the top, Thompson, one of the best trainers in the business. He's got one of the best dogs going around here tonight. Can we get a market update, Jared?
Yeah, one of the stars of our sport here in New South Wales, greyhound racing going around. Power and Glory, of course, Simon, you said just before, the winner of the Ladbrokes Golden Easter Egg earlier this year, and one of the best back both tonight and in our futures market for the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase in 2025. $3.30 into $2.70, and then on race night, $2.70 into $2.30. So a really, really good push for our favourite here, Power and Glory, who also won his only other start from box number 8 so far. So plenty of ticks for that boy tonight. Zigzag Man still locked on your second line of betting, $4.60 into $4.40. $5.50 about Flying Zulu to sit on your third line of betting, and Zipping Deckers is an $8 chance in from $8.50. But like I said before, it's all about Power and Glory now, a $2.30 favourite at Ladbrokes. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
And we'll take a look at the speed map here for the next here at Wentworth Park. And Power and Glory drawn out wide, box number 8, mapped to lead in this race, along with Wyon Dallas, who gets in off the ballot, is also mapped to be up on the pace here.
Very interesting race. Power and Glory, wide draw. Initially, I thought maybe not suited, but Kenny Burnett spoke to us during the week. He was here for the official launch of the $1 Million Chase, and he said, well, at least he's going to get a crack from out there. He joined Mick Cowley not long ago. Let's hear what he thinks right now.
With Ken Burnett, Power and Glory. Kenny, how's the build-up been this week?
Yeah, it's been a good build-up. He's done everything right. He's been good at home. He's been good. He's just done everything right. You know, he had his last run on Tuesday at home, and just a nice, easy slip, and freshened him up from then on till tonight.
This is obviously the second leg of a big double. You obviously won the Easter egg earlier in the year. That was a thrill beyond thrills for you. You know, you're very emotional on the night.
Yeah.
This is another step, isn't it?
Yeah, it is another step. You know, you've got to keep taking those steps when you've got a good dog like this, you know, and we give him. There's a lot of good dogs still in the field. You know, we've got to get by, but he's got plenty of ability, this dog, and he's just he's raring to go.
That's the thing. He's got to get by them. You'd like a bit of clear air early on, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think he can get clear air from out there. That's the good thing. He won't get crowded from the outside in, you know. So I do believe that where he's situated is not too bad for him, and he'll show what he's got up the back.
It must be a thrill for you watching him unfurl up the back straight here.
Yeah, you just see him take off, and you think, here we're in the money now. We're in with a chance now, but he can come through this bend very good too. That's the other good thing about him. He comes through the bend, and when he hits the bend, he just drives through it. You know, he doesn't change any lead leg. He just keeps the same legs going, and that's what his momentum comes from. You know, he's a natural chaser too. He loves to chase. Off the bunny, he can still come back from behind, you know, like he's just that type of dog, you know. And he did it with the Easter egg, and hopefully he can do it again tonight.
Mate, I guess the obvious place would be you'd love to see him in front round the first turn, but you'd like to see him 2, 3, as close as you can to the leader.
Look, he can run a 5:40 to the first section here, and that's not slow. And if he gets left alone, if he's leading through the bend here, look out. I don't know what he'll run. Because he just keeps putting time on the clock all the time, every time he goes around. Like his solo trials are just phenomenal, you know, and it'll be interesting to see what he does if he gets on the bunnies early, you know.
Well, that performance a couple of weeks ago here, that said it all.
Yeah, it did. You know, I don't want to preempt anything, but I really believe that, you know, he'll give the record a real shot, you know. But you know, I don't want to talk too early. I just want it to happen.
It's about getting through this week. That's the way to
get it. That's it. If we can qualify, then we'll see what happens next week.
Best of luck this week.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny.
Kenny Burnett there with Mick Cowley. Interesting, guys. He mentioned that record. He had a post-to-post last week, 23.42. 23.42 post-to-post. Tacked on a 5.50 first section. breaks 29 seconds. So there you go, he's flying. Let's get through the field for semi-final number 5, Zigzag Man, Sid Swain. Before we do that, just a quick market update. Sorry, Jared.
Power and Glory still well and truly occupying the top line of betting, and is the one that the Ladbrokes punters want here. Simon into $2.15 now. Clearly the best back, clearly the market move. For Flying Zulu has actually just firmed onto the second line of betting here for Jason Thompson, $5.50 into $4.80. And Zigzag Man, the other one that garnered a bit of support early, but is actually a drifter on race night, $4.60 out to $5.50. But Power and Glory will start a very clear and popular favourite at Ladbrokes.
Now we start with the one, Zigzag Man. No pace early, big engine though, Liz.
Yeah, I think he's got to be given a chance here off the one. He's got a really interesting build-up to tonight. His last race was over 600 metres at the Meadows. He came second that day. I thought it was a very good run, found the rails, got a check and lost momentum. A huge run to nearly get there. He's a very versatile dog. He's very strong. He can perform well over 700 metres. And interestingly, he also trialled here in 29.44 back in early August. I thought he had to be rated a home here off the inside.
Zipping Deckers, all of a sudden the form doesn't look as good from last week, but good record at Wenty.
Yeah, and Minnie is very happy to have Zigzag Man drawn to this greyhound's inside since he's not quick away. Minnie says that Zipping Deckers, she's flying at the moment. She's come back really well from a previous injury, and she's a good chance if she comes out running.
3 scratchings in this race. Wincy Bale comes out, Isabella's Blitz and Badger's Beast. Sammy Ethan comes into the 3 and had a decent return last week off a long break.
Yeah, it does come into box number 3, scrapes into a semi-final tonight. Began well and sort of held his line out of the boxes pretty well initially and found the line quite nicely. I thought it was a good run considering he hadn't raced for quite a while, and I'd expect to see some improvement from him tonight.
The 4 will be spare. The 5, Wyong Dallas, who's come through the Goulburn series and I reckon could lead.
And I think it's very hard to ignore a daily runner in a $1 million chase semi-final, especially one who recently put together 7 wins in a row. I think he'll be improved for his first look at Wentworth Park. He's previously been going excellent races in Victoria.
The 6 is Flying Zulu for Jason Thompson, Group 1 Brisbane Cup winner. Was going to the Masters Meteor, but because of recent form, is coming to this race instead.
I've actually got him on top here. Clearly Power and Glory is the class act of the field, but I thought Flying Zulu was also a huge chance. Finished 3rd in the National Sprint Championship and behind Cumbria Jack at the end of August. That was off box A. It was a last start winner in a fast 29.63 at the Meadows last time out. It was a Group 1 winner of the Harrison Dawson final at Sandown back in May. He's phenomenally talented and I think he's capable of winning.
Tracker absolutely flew up at the Gardens in the Blacktop to take that out. What chance do you give him?
Look, based on that run of the Gardens, that was enormous. He came from the clouds and off the ballot that day. He'll be hitting the line strongly and he's a definite place hope.
And the 8, current favourite, $2.10 with Ladbrokes, Power and Glory, reigning Golden Easter Egg champion, and as I mentioned, warmed up with an absolutely stunning post-to-post and a breathtaking win a couple of weeks ago.
It's just insane. He went 29.15 winning the Easter Egg. He went 29.16 last start, and you've just mentioned that trial as well. Huge hope here off the 8.
Jared, a tip and market move from you, mate.
Power and Glory, Power and Glory. Simon, into $2.15 in the Ladbrokes market now. I think he's going to prove too good tonight.
Liz's lock?
I've gone with Flying Zulu on top here to represent a bit of value, but clearly Power and Glory also will be hard to beat.
Flying Zulu, pretty rock solid, open $5.50, hovering around the $5 mark at the moment. Power and Glory, as you mentioned, Jared, open $3.30. Looks very generous, considering now $2.10. I reckon this is about the bottom of the barrel for the price, considering, Liz, as you mentioned, the quality inside him. Group 1 winner, $1 million earner Flying Zulu. Tracker off the back of one of the best performances of 2025. But Power and Glory, can he get clear air? That's the question for Kenny Burnett. If he can, Ken has already predicted potentially a record-breaking type of run from this absolutely flying machine. Let's see how he goes. This is semi-final number 5 of the Ladbrokes $1 million chase. Power and Glory is going to jump your $2.10 favourite. They're just hanging behind the boxes as we speak. We're just running behind start time, and in they go. Let's throw up to Russell Veach to see who's the next dog through to the $1 million race next week.
The field for the $1 million chase for 2025 to come. Power and Glory favourite here at 210. Runners about to move forward. Halfway through the semi-finals. Thank you, Nathan. The greyhounds are getting set. Halfway through the quad, 7 and 9, and Power and Glory, the Golden Easter Egg champion, is the favourite here at 220 in box number 8 for Ken Burnett. As they're just about set, Dominic places the green light on. Lure rolls, semi-final number 5. Up to the boxes, they're set. And racing, and Zipping Diggers came out hard, and Whelan Dallas goes hard to lead. Out wide of Power and Glory, he's looming large. Then behind him came Flying Zulu, Zigzag Man getting up on the fence, and Semi-Ethan and Trucker down the back, and Whelan Dallas out by 3. Here he comes, Power and Glory. He's motoring home, 4 lengths away, Zipping Diggers and Zigzag Man on the home corner. Whelan Dallas headed off by Power and Glory. Glorious isolation, Power and Glory bolts in. Zigzag Man has come from the clouds. Whelan Dallas holds third, followed by Zipping Diggers. Then a breakaway to Tracker, Flying Zulu and Semi-Ethan, and 29.22 the time.
Power personified, and now he goes forward. Kenny in 7 days claimed the glory of a Ladbrokes $1 million chase win. Power and Glory jumped beautifully, sat outside the early leader, pushed up to Whelan Dallas on the back straight, and then from there he was always going to be the stronger dog. As soon as he pushed his way past, this bloke is an absolute Rolls Royce. Zigzag Man, great run to finish off fast into second, but all honours to the winner, 29.22. A bit of a bump here and there. Otherwise, that's going to be a low 29 run. Liz, what do you think?
That was just an outstanding performance. He's a brilliant race dog. He's done everything right tonight, and look at the way that he's powered to the line there as well. As you say, he's got a slight bump. I can't wait to see what sort of time he's capable of going with some clear air here.
Hell of a run. Look, we don't have favourites, right? We don't. Jared, right? Nope. But we were cheering hard because Kenny Burnett is a great soul of the oath bloke, and he deserves every success he has. He's down with Mick Cowley now. Mick, can't wait to hear it.
Ken Burnett, congratulations. You've got one into the $1 million chase final, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's an effort for the dog to... Well, it's a great effort, you know. Like he's come back from a really bad hip support tear, and it was split in two, and we did a lot of work with him slowly and brought him back slowly, and that's his fourth run back, so, you know, hopefully he's peaking right next week.
How are you feeling heading into the back straight there?
Oh, well, you know, when he's with him in the back straight, he's just got that extra... He's just got some sensational turn of his foot when he's behind the dog. He's such a good chaser. He just wants to win. And he puts all the effort in, and the back section he just takes off like, you know, if we can get through the bend early next week or with him close, look out.
Hey, what's it like for you? Yeah, for us looking, you see this dog explode away on the home turn or the turn into the straight. What's it like for you? You know what he's got.
Yeah, well, I've known for a long time how good he is. He just early on in his early days, he was getting really bad box rules. Really beat him a lot of the time. But he's learnt to race this dog. He's really come of age. You know, he's only had 34 starts, and he's really come of age. You know, so I'm really happy that we've got him, and he's I don't think I'll get another one like him. You know, that's the only thing. You know, like you do all this all your career, and you just wish you get a good dog like this, and we've got one. You know, we're so happy with him.
You've just got to enjoy the ride.
Yeah, we just got to enjoy the ride, and there's a lot of pressure. Like there was no pressure in the Easter egg, but there's pressure this time round because of what he's, you know, he's got a name for himself now, and he's just got to try and uphold his name. And we've already been approached to use him at stud. People want him to use him, and so that's good for him as well. You know, we're happy with that, and but we're enjoying the ride. But it is a lot of pressure.
It's just lucky he doesn't realise there's any pressure on him.
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't know the pressure. He hasn't got a clue what's going on. He just loves doing what he's doing.
We all love watching him. Congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thanks very much. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Yeah, the wink, the seal of approval there for Kenny Burnett. Well done, mate. And to Mandy as well, his partner. Yeah, it means a lot. It means a hell of a lot because he knows how good this dog is. He ticks, well, almost over $400,000 in prize money there. He takes a handshake as well. My only notes, guys, West Tigers jacket.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's passionate about his team. He's passionate about his dog. Thank God his dog is good and can win because the Tigers
Needs
haven't
a win.
had a lot of... There she
Needs
is.
a win.
There's Mandy, Amanda Brunton as well with the dog. We'll wait to see this embrace because it's going to be a ripper. Golden Easter Egg champ last year on this very night. He jumped behind Blue Camaro, I reckon, in the last semi-final, and we all thought it's over. This dog is going to blow on by. Blue Camaro obviously went on to win that semi and then win the final. Power and Glory had to go to the Conso, ran second behind Miss Envy from memory, who's a really good greyhound as well. So all the form lines over the last 12 months suggest this guy's a star.
Absolutely, and somehow he sort of went under the radar when going into the Easter Egg Series. He was brilliant there, 29.15 that night, 29.16 last start. We've had that recent trial, and I'm just starting to wonder, could potentially the track record be lowered here sometime soon with this one?
Great question, Liz. We've seen Cumbria Jack obviously equal it for Dalwhinnie, 29.04 in recent weeks. I used to think that he was a slow beginner, and maybe he just has been jumping better in the last couple of months, but tonight he was right there when the whips were cracking through the first bend, and here we go. Kenny, Mandy, Howie and Glory, deserved winner of semi-final number 5, through to the final next week. And I dare say at the moment, Jared, if you had to carve out a market, he would be favourite. Is that fair?
Well, he's landed some very, very big bets tonight, Simon. There are some very, very big bets on him in the futures market as well. And yeah, I think from what we've seen, it would be a very close market between Power and Glory and Ariza Sparkles, but very, very impressive. I think he would be on top for sure.
Where's his best spot, Liz? If we had to do the box draw tonight, we're not. It's going to Sunday. Well, let's talk about this replay first. So there he is out wide. Wyong Dallas, bulletproof pretty early, and there he is just sitting outside the speed. He's 4 wide there, but he sort of rides that little shoulder, and this is where he really rips.
He's got a beautiful clean run too to get through to this point, and it's very hard to see him being beaten from here. Good early pace here from Wyong Dallas coming in off the ballot. They have started to get very clear of the rest of the field. Look, he's gone obviously exceptionally well off box 8 once again. I wouldn't mind seeing him closer in for the final next week, but I guess it depends on where the other greyhounds are drawn as well.
Zigzag man in behind. Let's have a look at Kenny. This is him watching from behind the boxes. So right now, his heart's in his mouth. He's thinking, hang on, my boys jumped well, and now he's just got to get through the bend. I reckon about here, he's thinking, great, I'm in behind Wyong Dallas. Look at that, maybe a little sheepish smile because he knows I got the fastest dog in the country almost. And if he gets behind a dog 1 out, he knows he's got the motor to run him down. This is the point where he makes his move. He gets to the front. Now it's just bad luck that robs him of a chance of heading to the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. We love that. It's always a little bit interesting behind the boxes, isn't it? Because they're competitors. They want to win. All of the trainers are the same. It's not prickly, but it's sort of prickly, if you know what I'm saying. Let's have another look here. Power and Glory. It takes a good dog to go not super wide, but wide through the first bend and still be able to muster. This is where he really moves and works to the front, isn't it, Liz?
It is, and I think he's smart the way that he's done that. You talked about the box draw, and, you know, he hasn't crashed across from the 8. He's just sort of held his line, only come left slightly, which is really smart by him. He's stayed out of trouble with that sort of racing style.
Interesting off the back of Kenya Sapphire as well, coming from box 8 and winning. Let's take a look at the front on vision. Power and Glory out to the left. Wyong Dallas, a little bit awkward, I guess, coming out, but still gets his way to the front. The only other query I've got, smaller field clearly makes it easier to get usually makes it easier to get a clearer run. And Kenny said that pre-race. He just wanted his bloke to remain untouched. So far, nothing has come near him. That's the first bump he might have got there just on the flank of the dog inside him in tracker, but otherwise, clear sailing to the first bend. But you can see there, he's still got a stack of work to do, doesn't he?
And I think that's what every trainer wants when they go into any race. They just want to get a clear run. They just want to see, you know, the best out of their dog. And I think next week as well, hopefully we can see that in the final. We all want to see the best dog on the night win.
Yeah, let's clear some dividends. He was the favourite, Jared, deservedly so. And I imagine Ladbrokes probably hurting a little bit.
Absolutely. Like I said just a few moments ago, Simon, he's landed some astronomical bets tonight. He went off a $2.20 favourite there and a very, very deserving winner.
And you opened at $3.50. What were you thinking for Power and Glory, the best dog in the land? Potentially. Anyway, he adds his name to the list of finalists moving through to next week's $1 Million Chase final. So far, and if you've just joined us, we welcome you, of course, to thedogs.com.au or Ladbrokes 2, where you might be watching us as well. Ariza Sparkles, Zipping Aerial, Foreign Capital, Kenya Sapphire, and now Power and Glory through to the big dance next week. Friday, October 17, right here at Wentworth Park, as Wolf Mother rips off in the background. There's a blast from the past. Absolutely love it. There's going to be so much to see and do next week for $10. That's it, $10. You get general admission here. You can talk to the Hello Sport guys. You can see Big John riding a bucking bull. God help that bull when Big John gets aboard it. Mitch Moses and James Tedesco are there promoting the Kia Tasman Ute, which we're going to be giving away. Mitch, of course, is off playing for the Kangaroos at the Ashes. I think Teddy might be here, but either way, 10 lucky punters will get a chance to kick a footy into the back of a Kia Tasman. If the ball goes in, whoever does it will drive the car off the Wentworth Park straight and out the gate. It's your car to keep. It's worth $59,000. Look at it. It's a beast. Beautiful. From Sydney City Kia. And just quietly, the ad for the Kia Tasman, is it one of the best? Have you seen it with all the sporting stars in the pub getting around?
They've spent a penny on that ad, haven't they? Probably every good sporting star, minus Simon Orchard, of course, of Kookaburra's fame.
If you just push the toilet door open, I was in there cleaning as all the stars of the sporting show. But yeah, some massive names, Liz, were involved in this Kia Tasman ad. So great from Sydney City Kia. We thank you because that's a wonderful prize to give away. If you have just joined us, as I mentioned, let's get a quick recap of everything that's happened here tonight. Ariza Sparkles from box 6. She flew 29.17, fastest race bitch in history here at Wentworth Park for Steve Fitch. She overhauls Honk Honk, who used to be the quickest dog here, but not anymore. Zipping Aerial for Courtney Barnes, and she was tickled pink. She gave us a little hop, skip and a jump at the end of her race as well. Zipping Aerial through, and there's Courtney, happy as... I was going to say Larry, happy as Courtney. How about that? Fix Sultana. Gee, wasn't this a boil over? Foreign capital at about $17. It was a messy finish. It was a messy race. Slowest qualifier so far. But it doesn't matter because the dog's through to $1 million chase final next week. He had a finalist in the very first edition of the race, Skywave, who ran third. He'll be hoping to go a couple better. Kenya Sapphire for Jace Magri. Well, she burned, baby, burned early and late. And there's the double thumbs up from the main men, the most winners in New South Wales so far this year. And, of course, Power and Glory for Kenny Burnett. We just talked about it. He is a star, and now he's through to a race that not only creates stars, but it creates long-lasting memories, guys. Last year, Benny Pert, the owner of Blue Camaro, had his little baby, Lenny, who was only a few months old, down here trackside. One of the best stories. Him and Joshy Formosa bought the dog for about 10 grand and then won it $1 million chase. That's what it's all about, right?
It absolutely is, and that's what this race is all about. And it's quickly become one of my favourite races. There are, obviously the traditional races, but $1 million chase, it's for everyone. Everyone can get involved, everyone can have that dream, and everyone's got the opportunity to win $1 million.
Yeah, we love that. Hey, just quickly before we jump into race 8, Cumbria Jack was the all-in favourite. He's still to come here tonight. Can we get a price on him later on in the night? The track record holder here, Jared. What price is he in his semi-final?
He's going around a $1.30 chance in his semi-final. It's the very next one, Simon.
Oh,
Boy, you would think that if he wins through to the final next week, this is going to be a very, very fascinating betting race, isn't it?
And for the all-in market, that's shut at the moment. That'll reopen as soon as semi-final, or when the box draw is done on Sunday.
No, as soon as the last semi-final is run and won tonight, we will have a pre-box draw I beg your pardon, a pre-box draw final field market, the box draw on Sunday. We will get into the market here for race number 8 at Wentworth Park. It's the 6th Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final. Cumbria Jack, like I said before, just a very, very clear and popular favourite. $1.50 into $1.30 now, about 80% of the Ladbrokes hold in this race. Iconic Jet, $7 out to 8s, $9.50 about Black Myth Wave. The rest of them are on the drift. It's all about Cumbria Jack, $1.30. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
And we'll take a look at the speed map here on screen. Iconic Jet comes into box 1 of the West Australian for Shane Williams. In terms of other runners with some early pace, we've got Black Myth Wave drawn in 5, 6 out of Stolen, 8 West Rock Casey, but Cumbria Jack off the 2, also a big chance of leading here.
It's all about Jack, but My Boy Bingo was a hell of a story last week on City qualifying night for Kenny Bailey. He joined Mick Cowley to give us his thoughts coming up against one of the best dogs in the country.
Back after your hit-and-run trip last week. How's the week been, mate?
Yeah, no, been really good. The dog tied up a little bit after the run, but we just freshened him up a little bit because he's going to have to show a bit more early pace this week if he's going to be a chance.
Is he the type of dog that will improve after having a look?
Yeah, I would have thought so. His run home time was pretty ordinary for him, and that was his first 509 weeks. So you would expect he should finish off all right, a lot better this week, but he's not going to be able to run these dogs down. He'll need to be in front and hope for a little bit of damage behind him. So
I was going to say, done you no favours drawing you next to the favourite.
Yeah, with the red coming out, the Western Australian dog gets off a bit. I come down, so it'll be interesting. He'll either blow us away or we'll jam him up a little bit early. So
could hold your breath to that first turn, perhaps.
Yeah, well, it is Wentworth Park.
It is. What's it mean to you to, as you said, young dog, you've got to this stage already, says a lot for his future.
Yeah, he'll just keep improving. I think he'll make a really good 600-metre dog. And that's the breed that they'll run a bit of distance. But yeah, look, he's just such an honest dog. He does everything right. Nothing wrong in the kennels. He just and snores on the way down here. So travel didn't worry him.
Half his luck. Best of luck tonight, buddy, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of you in the future.
Yep, no worries. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken. Good luck.
Ken Bailey there with Mick Cowley, and there's my boy Bingo on screen. We heard before that interview that Cumbria Jack was a raging favourite, $1.30 with Ladbrokes. Let's work our way through the field because there's some other good dogs in this race at pretty juicy prices. We'll start with the one, Liz Whelan, Iconic Jet, who replaces Rosa Marie. Shane Williams, the Shane train from WA, has brought this dog over and done the hard yakka, and now he gets a good box in a big race.
Yeah, look, I'm glad to see him making the final. He finished second in a city qualifier on Saturday night and behind my boy Bingo. He went 30.04 in placing, but he did get a bit of a check mid-race, and to be fair, I thought he did quite a good job to get second late. He's been going very good races in West Australia. He made the final of the National Sprint Championship at the Q, and I really loved his win in the West Australia Sprint Championship prior to that. He won it off the 8. That was in 29.54. I like him even better drawn the red, and I've got him in my top 4 picks.
Yeah, we've seen the 9 run a couple of good races here tonight already as well. Wyong Dallas ran 3rd and Kenya Sapphire won in that particular bib. So he'll jump from the 1. Here we go, Cumbria Jack. His record is superb. His credentials are elite. He's a track record holder. Tell us a bit more about him.
And he's probably the best greyhound going around in Australia at the moment. His overall record is insane. He's had 21 starts, 15 wins, 5 minors. The only time that he was actually beaten was on debut when he was luckless in a maiden at Nowra. He's clearly the one to beat here. He went the track record equalising performance last start. He's gone straight to the lead in a 5.42 first split. He's kept up this very high pace throughout, and it's his race to lose.
We knew he was good, but he went north and he spent some time with Tony Brett while Steve Fitch was holidaying in France, of all places, and it really seems to have made the dog. He's come back even better, of course, winning that Group 1 up there as well. Breaking the drought for Fitchy Boy. We heard from Ken Bailey and my boy Bingo. At the moment, you're getting $15 on the drift just a little bit. Some quick thoughts on my boy Bingo?
Yeah, one of the outsiders of the field. He caused an upset winning his city qualifier off box 5 on Saturday night. He was sent up paying $17. He began pretty well when he drove through to lead. The others probably did have their chance to catch up, to be fair, so you'd like to see him on the pace to be any sort of a hope.
Player 1, $51 outsider for the Simmons camp, Therese and Tess. I tell you what, there's a lot of pace in this race. This girl doesn't have a stack of it, but if they all maybe clutter up around the first bend, $51, $61 now, maybe to run into a top 4.
I absolutely agree with you. Not much early pace, but she will be finishing the race off better than a few of these. She's had a number of races here at Wenty. Her best time was in 29.58, but that was nearly a year ago.
The 5, Black Myth Wave. Vic Sultana's already got one through. Can he do it again? Black Myth Wave, a relative, of course, of that Great Wave line. Maitland MDC place getter behind 2 good ones in Badger's Beast and Massaro.
He's gone 29.50 here in the past. That was back in March, but it was no fluke. He went 29.53 here just 2 starts ago. That was off box 1. He jumped pretty well, held the rail and pushed through. You can forget about his last start run when he had no luck and came last. One to be including in combinations here.
Open 6.50 out to 9.50. Did reach as much as 10 at one stage. Out of style for Chris Kedwell. This girl was a Group 1 place getter here, I reckon, a couple of years ago, maybe last year. Doesn't seem to love Wentworth Park, though.
No, you're right. She came 3rd in last year's Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal final. She also came 3rd in the New South Wales National Sprint Championship final here a couple of months ago. Her last one did come back in July. That was off the red. I think she's up against it here off box 6.
The 7 is My Munro for Sue Smith and Johnny Miles, another dog with great pace. She can go 5.35 to the first mark, and if she does that, she could well lead.
She could well lead, and she was good enough to make the National Futurity final here at the start of the year. That is her best hope to pick the jump, but at the same time, I don't think she's capable of running up to some of these.
And the 8, West Rock Casey, just flying under the radar a little bit, a brother of Late Night News who gets a lot of the plaudits, but this dog's been in really good form.
Has been in really good form. Caroline Hughes did tell me during the week that she's hoping for a miracle with this greyhound. He is strong, he's versatile over 500 and 600 metres, and he'll be finishing pretty fast as well in this race.
Who do you like, Liz? Is it Cumbria Jack, and is there anything that can beat him?
Cumbria Jack, absolutely. I thought $1.50 wasn't actually a bad price when they first opened the markets.
Jared, market mover?
Into $1.26 now, Cumbria Jack. Very, very short. I've got him on top, but I'm actually going to have a same race multi here. Cumbria Jack on top. And Black Myth Wave is one that I gave a little bit of a chance at odds here. For him to run into the top three, $2.70, that will do me.
I like that. Black Myth Wave, as I said, ran third behind Badger's Beast. Only 3 dogs have beaten Badger's Beast this year, and he's won about 15 races. He sadly was scratched tonight, but that form reads really well, especially with Massaro being the subject of some good support. So Cumbria Jack, we've all got him on top. He's the star of Wentworth Park, equal track record holder with Dalwhinnie. Steve Fitch has already got Ariza Sparkles through to the final. Can he double up with the 2? Cumbria Jack, the Group 1 winner and potential super duper star. Let's see. Russell Veach, I'm going to hand it over to him, who's calling the semi-finals oh so well.
Thank you, Nathan. So $1.20 Cumbria Jack. He's the series favourite, and he's $1.20 tonight. He's the equal track record holder with Dalwhinnie at 29.04. His kennel mate's gone the fastest thus far, Ariza Sparkles in 29.17. Let's see how he goes from the stripes. Number 2, Cumbria Jack. They're set to go. They're ready. Racing, he missed the start out by a couple of lengths and fast away My Boy Bingo will lead to the first corner, trying to get through as Iconic Jet. He got bought for a run. Cumbria Jack, he's just to the outside, he's into the clear. He's going out after My Munro second spot, then Cumbria Jack and Iconic Jet in 4. Behind them came Player 1, Black Myth Wave a long way back out of style, and West Rock Casey coming off the back though. My Boy Bingo's out by 3 or 4. He needs to chase hard. Cumbria Jack is coming now, switches off heels. My Boy Bingo's in front, pulled out plenty. My Boy Bingo won at low length in front of Cumbria Jack, and they spaced the others. My Munro got third, followed by Iconic Jet. Further back to Player 1, out of style, Black Myth Wave, and the time 29.33.
My Boy Bingo with the biggest spoil over you will ever see. Massive price, $21 he jumped with Ladbrokes before. He was before the race, and he holds off Cumbria Jack, arguably the best greyhound in the country. They gap the rest. Wowee. What did we just watch? Cumbria Jack would have been $1.05 up the back straight to roll around My Boy Bingo. As soon as he got to the point of the home turn, he ducked when he should have dived, or dove when he should have ducked. Either way, lost momentum, and My Boy Bingo, full credit. Ken Bailey said he's just hoping that he could run into the consolation. Now, would you believe it? Almost a throw at the stumps in some way, coming up with the City Qualifiers next week. He's through to the $1 Million Chase final, Liz.
He's done it again. This is what he did in the City Qualifier on Saturday night. He's found the lead. They couldn't catch him, and tonight he's come out running, and I thought Cumbria Jack was going to get there, but My Boy Bingo, an upset in 29.33 as well.
Yeah, wowee. Hell of a performance. Mick Cowley is going to get the words from Ken Bailey, who I'm sure is over the moon. Down to you, Mick.
Ken Bailey, I think he's over the moon. Congratulations, mate. That's an impressive performance, particularly on the clock.
Yeah, we thought he'd improve on last week, and mainly the run home time. He's come home nearly 3 lengths quicker this week. The track's a bit, I'd say, a little bit quicker, but we were hoping we'd stay on the fence and the other dog might shunt us across the line, and that's probably how it worked out.
How are you feeling coming up the back, looking at the other one stalking you?
I saw what he did to Tim Zoo in the national sprint. I wasn't looking forward to it. I thought, oh, here he comes.
Mate, that's an impressive performance, whichever way you look at it, regardless of whether the other dog couldn't get around you or not. To run 29.3 up front for such a young dog, 16 starts, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you would think he should keep improving, but if he jumps like that each time, well, you're a chance, aren't you? So just need to hopefully draw a box. Yeah.
We spoke last week before the City Qualifiers. You brought him up to give him a bit of a shot, a bit of a look. Was it a throw at the stumps more than anything else, and now you're in the final?
Yeah, look, the run at Warrigal was very, very good. When I trialled him, I thought, oh, this dog's a chance, and that's why we were reasonably confident last week at the odds. And they thought, well, he should improve on that, but when you come up against a dog like that, well, you're kidding yourself if things don't go your way, that you can beat them. But yeah, no, he's done a good job.
As you said before the race, this first turn at Wentworth Park, you can get rounded in front, it's half the battle.
Yeah, you're just continually watching it. A lot of good dogs get beat here, and especially this quality of field when there's so many going to the corner together. So that makes a difference.
What's it mean to have a $1 million chase finalist, mate?
Yeah, well, it is life-changing, isn't it? If you see you watch a lot of the people that have actually won it, and then a lot of them don't show much expression. They do when they win that. I've seen them go off their tree, so I'm going that, yeah, and it is life-changing.
So you're a 1 in 8 chance of doing it, going off the tree next week now?
Yeah, well, ticket in the raffle, so that's all we can do.
Absolutely. Congratulations, buddy, and good luck next week.
No worries, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Congratulations to Ken Bailey, My Boy Bingo and Connections. Hell of an effort. Final price from Ladbrokes, Jared.
$12 out to $21 there, Simon.
Love that. There's another handshake. I'll tell you what, that man's busy down there over the fence. Kenny Bailey, not familiar to some faces here in New South Wales. He had Nangar Jim, I reckon, from Joe McFadgen. Took him down to Victoria and raced him after having some success up here. Let's take another look at the replay and tell you what, Cumbria Jack in the stripes just works his way through the ruck, but now My Boy Bingo's out in front and got 4 lengths. I think every man and his dog watching this live thought it was just a matter of time. Cumbria Jack, 29.04 PB, is going to roll around him here. And about now, we started thinking the same thing. Just there. Just maybe tried to take an inside run, I reckon, Liz. Maybe get to the rail, just got turned sideways a little bit. I don't know if we have a head on, but gee, it'd be good to see if he just twists a little bit. But let's have a look again at My Boy Bingo. This is where he does his best work.
Straight to the lead there, My Boy Bingo off box 3. As you say, late in the race and during the race, we were all sort of saying Cumbria Jack is going to get there, but that was probably costly there late in the straight. Will he go inside? Will he go outside? It's hard to know if he still would have got him because, you know, it's hard to run time here at Wentworth Park when you're coming from the back and you've got a dog out in front who's still going 29.33.
Yeah, it is interesting, and the flavour of the night for most of these semi-finals has been leader dominant. The final margin's convincing, really, a length clear on the line. Let's have a look at them as they come out of the boxes as well. My Boy Bingo jumping from the 3, right alongside Cumbria Jack. Just went a little bit left, but not bad at all. Iconic Jet showed great pace on the fence and ran a fairly good race to run into 4th, I think, in the end. But My Boy Bingo gets to the front. Another quick first section, sub 5:40. If he draws 1, 2 or 3 next week in the final, I don't see any reason why he can't do this again.
No, he can make it a 3-peat. I mean, he did it last week. He was ridden off again, I think, for a lot of punters tonight. But when you're out of front here at Wentworth Park, we've seen that so often this evening. It's just going to be very hard to run them down.
And this is the final turn into the home straight. Just before that, Cumbria Jack in the stripes on the left there, I reckon, tried to punch up that 1-dog gap on the fence, just turned a little bit sideways and then couldn't reel in the winner. But that's greyhound racing. A big winner, $21 with Ladbrokes. And again, the bookies are cheering because we've had another big result. My Boy Bingo first, Cumbria Jack second. My Munro ran 3rd, and Iconic Jet did end up running 4th. So Cumbria Jack will go through to the consolation, guys. That's every dog that runs 2nd tonight through to next week's final. Interesting to note, My Boy Bingo won a pretty good race on launching pad night, the launching pad runway. You go back through that form, I think Dashing Sleigh might have won the launching pad, but all of a sudden, a dog who has gone city qualifiers, semi-finals into final. We've seen this with JSJ, we saw this with Blue Camaro, we saw this with Mystic Riot. It's becoming a formula.
It's pretty exciting as well. A greyhound too, I wonder what he would have been paying prior to tonight. I imagine massive odds.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
We're 17 minutes away from the next semi-final. We've got 2 to go. If you want to dive into the Group 2 Sydney Cup market, Ladbrokes have that up already. 8 finalists decided earlier on tonight. Without a Trace was very special in her heat. So you can jump on, ladies, and get involved. We've got 6 finalists for next week's $1 Million Chase sorted out. We've got 2 races to come. 2 more chances at the $1 Million prize. Let's take a quick break. Back on the other side with race 9 and 10 from Wentworth Park. Welcome back to thedogs.com.au special coverage of Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final night right here at Wentworth Park. If you're watching across the Ladbrokes 2 channel as well, we say a big cheerio to you, and hopefully you've had a few wins tonight. We haven't been in great form, I think it's fair to say. Liz Whelan, Jared Timms and myself, Simon Orchard, you started on fire.
Peaked early.
Yep. You still...
I think I've backed a winner. So.
Hey, that's better than none.
Yeah.
As have I. Follow us with confidence is what we're saying. Hey, look, we're here to entertain as well as try and provide some tips for you. I tell you why we've had a fruitless night, especially in the last couple of semis. Some absolute bolters have got up. My boy Bingo, paying about $20, got up and beat Cumbria Jack. That was not on my bingo card before I came to Wentworth Park here tonight. We did see Power and Glory get through in the semi-final number 5, I should say. Kenya Sapphire got a run as a last-minute emergency, and she goes through to the $1 Million Chase final. Foreign Capital zipping aerial, and of course Ariza sparkles. She sparkled well and truly early on in the night. It's been a wonderful night here at Wentworth Park, and plenty more is going to happen next weekend, guys. Friday, October 17. The 8th ever edition of this wonderful race. We have so much happening on track. Not only can you pay $10 and come in and watch some of the best greyhounds go around, you could win a car, a Kia Tasman. That's right, next Friday night here at Wentworth Park. Get on down. There you go, kick the footy in the boot and win a Kia Tasman Ute. It just rolls off the tongue. Next Friday, $10, 10 lucky punters will get an opportunity to kick a footy, as we say, 20 metres down the Wentworth Park straight. It'll be sometime through the program next week. That car will be out on this track, and if you kick the ball in there, it stays in the back of the ute. Important to know, you could drive that thing away. We're only giving away one, so if you're first in line and you back yourself to kick it into the back, good luck for you. Ladbrokes are going to put some pads in the back of the ute for some reason. Not sure, just piggybacking. Oh, they're going to... That's to help the ball stay in, Jared.
This is the first time hearing about that, Simon, so stop looking at me.
You could lay in the back of it, mate. You just lay in there.
Yeah, plenty of padding going on here, let me tell you.
Oh, I didn't say that,
yeah.
mate. You said
okay.
that. Let's get to race 9 on the card. Give us a market update, mate.
What a segue into me doing a market, hey? How good. One of the more open Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-finals of the night, if the Ladbrokes market is to be believed here. Daisy's Rory is still holding your top line of betting, but plenty of meat on the bone. $3.80 into $4 in from $4.20, I should say. Delicate, the last opportunity for the all-conquering Jason Thompson kennel to get into this Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final is a $5 chance on the second line of betting. $5.50 is False Witness out from $4.60. A little bit further down the order here, a bit of a push from Midnight Queen tonight, coming out of, well, wearing the box, the 9 rug, $9.50 into $6.50, and is your Ladbrokes market mover. So we've seen a push pretty much all the way down the order for all of these greyhound. Daisy's Rory, a warm favourite, $3.80. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
And we take a look at the speed map there on screen. There is a bit of early pace in the race. Ritza Chris, I thought, was mapped to lead, and I also thought that meant that Daisy's Rory could get a very nice card into the race.
Yeah, like that. Let's work our way through the field. 5 minutes away from semi-final number 7. We're going to start with False Witness for Sam Sultana. Vic already got a runner through to the $1 Million Chase final, and False Witness was a really good winner in the blacktop heats, Liz.
Yeah, I thought that was terrific. Look, I don't expect him to be super fast out, but I think if he can just jump in the first half of the field, hold the rail, stay out of trouble, then he's potentially an each-way chance here.
I tell you what, Speedy Pie is exactly that. A really good beginner, maybe the best beginner in the state. We saw Kenya Sapphire burn the candle at both ends before. This girl, unfortunately, usually runs into something better, but that something better is usually something pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Was the runner-up in the Ladbrokes Brother Fox final at Dubbo back in May. That was behind Gets Late Early. She's got some early burn. I'd like to see her pinging away here to be a hope here in the semi-final.
I'm thinking Tamora Cup runner-up as well, behind maybe Good Odds Cobber or Bulleye Cup as well. Maybe she was there. She's definitely been in some big races. Hey, Midnight Queen. The 3 for Bailey Dargush, who apparently had a birthday yesterday, so happy birthday. This greyhound wasn't far off Sipping Deckers and Lakeview Emily last week. That form hasn't proved that great tonight.
No, look, she's usually an okay sort of a beginner, and then she gets into her work quite quickly, and she is strong. She's showing that in her 600 metres races as well. I think if she can get a nice sit on a few of these early, then she'll be working through the field and has the potential to cause a bit of an upset in this with a clear run.
The 4 is Delicate. Jason Thompson said this girl is really working into a quality race bitch, and she's starting to emerge as a star of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's gone some exceptionally fast times in Victoria, 29.17 at Sandown a couple of months ago off box 1, beat Home Skill Kalachi that day as well when leading throughout. She's a hard chaser. The only slight question mark is the fact that she hasn't been here to Wentworth Park.
The 5 is Zipping Nala, has to jump from 4th, 5th grade company into this type of race.
Zipping Nala, of course, Courtney Barnes has already had a win tonight. She's another one who can show a bit of early pace, but she also wants the rails. I think she could potentially make the race for some of the dogs drawn to her outside.
Ritza Chris is a speed machine. I reckon should have won the Blacktop final. Only her 9th career start, so she's still getting stronger.
Another front runner, as Trish Shaker says, she's a front runner. She's got that Bernardo pace. She is capable of making the final. I think she's got the potential to get quite a nice card across from Zipping Nala, and I'd like to see her up on the speed.
Surprised to see Dacey's Rory's not the fave. That's not the surprising part. It's 4:20. That shows how open this race really is. Tell us about this dog.
I've got him on top, Dacey's Warrior. I think he's a very good chance. Look, before the box draws came out, Tom Zavala said to me that he rates him as one of the 8 fastest greyhounds going around in the country at the moment. He also said that he was hoping to draw between box 1 to 5. He gets 7 here tonight, unfortunately. But again, I think he's got the potential to get a nice trip across with some of that speed to his inside.
Trims into $4. C Red in the 8 for Merv Turner. Congratulations for being here in semi-final. $126 with Ladbrokes. You mentioned Dacey's Rory. Let's hear from Tom Zavelis as they make their walk to the boxes.
With Tom Savellis, with Dacey's Rory. Mate, we were talking about this race the other night, and the 6 could potentially help lead you across.
Yeah, look, there's a bit of speed in this race. 2, 4 and 6, but the 6 has got really good speed. It's been showing tremendous for a young dog. It's going enormous. So, yeah, we just got to hope we're either up outside it or getting a card across with it and puts us into the race, hopefully.
Hey, been some handy performances from this dog, haven't there?
Yeah, look, he's been terrific over the last 12 months since we've had him. He's probably the most consistent dog in Queensland, and we've been in a lot of feature races, and let's hope we can make one more.
I was going to say, he's due a good one too.
Yeah, look, that'd be nice. You know, these are the races you try for, and we'll just see how we go. And look, you know, he gets his chance. We've just got to make the most of it.
Mate, you've already won the 7:15. It'd be a nice double.
Certainly would be. Yeah. Look, you know, one step at a time, but it'd be nice to make it, and yeah, hopefully we can get there.
Mate, I guess it's good just having runners on semi-final night to have a shot at least getting in.
Yeah, look, these sort of nights are terrific, and next week, you know, they're terrific nights. It's you know, I mean, you love any sort of a win, but those sort of wins are special.
Mate, good luck tonight.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Tommy Zavelis there with Dacey's Rory, the current favourite, 4:20 with Ladbrokes for semi-final number 7. Liz, you've got a good relationship with Tom's dogs. You tipped Autumn Storm in the 7:15. Are you with Dacey's Rory?
I'm absolutely with him. I think my only slight concern now watching the races tonight is that the dogs who lead seem to be very hard to run down. With that being said, I think Dacey's Rory can kind of turn that round again today because he's very, very strong.
Yeah, I'm with Ritza Chris, so I like the track pattern, a dog that's going to get out and go. Still learning the caper a little bit. Jared, market mover and a tip from you?
I found this to be one of the more difficult races on the program to analyse. Daisy's Rory is our $4.20 favourite. That push for Midnight Queen has continued, $9.50 into $6. I thought Speedy Pie might be a nice each-way chance from box number 2, $7.50 the win.
Yeah, tell you what, wherever you look, you can make a case for all of them. Speedy Pie's going to go for Delicate, we heard. Thompson's got a big rap on it. False Witness, we haven't talked about too much, but wants the inside. Currently $5.50 and just trimming up just a touch for the place odds if you want to get involved there. But Dacey's Rory, $4.20 with Ladbrokes, going to jump the favourite in semi-final number 7. A win here would take him over $450,000 in career earnings. Not only that, it'll take him through to the final of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Semi-final number 7, just moments away. One race to come after this. Winner only through to next week's $1 Million Decider. Let's throw it up to Russell Beach.
Thank you, Nate. Greyhounds moving up well. The penultimate semi-final, the $1 Million Chase. And favourite in a wide open betting affair is Dacey's Rory, the Queenslander, for Tom Zavelis at $4.40. Light is on, lure rolls. Good backing late, 6 Ritza Chris. There's 1 3 from 4 here. They're ready. And racing out far, Speedy Pie goes quickly to lead early. Sea Red Gang getting through now. Ritza Chris out after the leader. Very wide is Dacey's Rory, followed by Zipping Nala getting through and running on. Then came False Witness, followed by Sea Red, Delicate and Midnight Queen. Down the back and Speedy Pie's out by 2. Ritza Chris trying to run it down, followed by Zipping Nala and Dacey's Rory on the home corner. Speedy Pie starting to paddle, getting up on the inside. Dacey's Rory out wider, coming at Ritza Chris. Great finish. Oh, Dacey's Rory dived at Speedy Pie and Ritza Chris in a 3-way photo. Fourth in the race went to Zipping Nala, followed by Midnight Queen, and then back behind them, False Witness, Delicate, and it was one of the last to pull up. The time 29.5.
Let's wait and see. I reckon it's Daisy Rory's on the outside, and it's on the semaphore board. Daisy's Rory gets up in the final bound. Ritza Chris was brave. Speedy Pie led for 519 metres of a semi-final. We've mentioned that about Jason Magri. So close. He's already got one through. But all honours to Daisy's Rory, who, I got to be honest, I wasn't even looking for him as they rounded for home, Liz, but he's come from nowhere. That's a hell of a win.
That's been a huge performance. I was watching him the whole race, if I'm being completely honest, and I still didn't think he was going to get there. Right on the line, though. Seems to be trained to the minute. That was an outstanding performance and a great training performance by Tom Zavellis, who was crowned Greyhound Trainer of the Year for Australia back in August.
Yeah, spot on. I reckon Ritza Chris might just tuck up on the inside for second. Speedy Pie, very brave out in front. We'll wait for that number to pop up in the frame. Have a go at the first section. That's why Speedy Pie led 5:30. That is absolutely airborne. We mentioned 5:22 first section track record here. I haven't seen too many dogs go sub 5:30 in the last couple of years. So that is absolutely flying. And Daisy's Rory, I can't wait to see the replay and see where he gets to, because, well, it's a heck of a win. As I mentioned, over $450,000 in prize money now for Connections, a dog that Tom Zavellis didn't have initially. I reckon he had 20-odd starts and then got him into the kennel, and now he's through to $1 million chase final. Let's hear from Tom.
Chase final, mate. That was a very easy ride, I'm sure, watching.
Yes, anything but. I thought he'd be up on the speed outside the 2 and the 6, and we were giving him a big start, running 4th or 5th and wide around the first turn. Geez, it was a big run. He's so versatile. He can lead, he can come from behind. He just gives you everything every time.
Was there a time, particularly back straight into the home straight, where you thought you were a chance?
Not till turning for home. I knew we were coming up to the home corner, we were starting to make ground, and look, I've seen a couple doing that tonight, and they got bumped turning for home, and I'm thinking just get around it. And yeah, once he was making strides in the home straight, I was pretty keen then.
Those last few strides were pretty impressive.
Yes, yeah. I think I jumped nearly as high.
Mate, what does it mean for you to get a dog through to $1 million chase final?
Look, all those sorts of things are great. Look, his owner's 91-year-old. He's having the best run he's ever had in his life with his dogs. Claude just happy to help and be on the ride with him.
That's a hell of a ride.
Yeah. Look, he's the last 12 months we've had with this dog have been enormous, and let's hope we can go one more week.
Best of luck next week, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Good on him, Tommy Zavellis there. He's talking about the owner, Claude Dacey, I should say. Congratulations to Connections as well. And here comes the handshake. Oh, there's Dan Wiseman, the boss of the GBOTA, is popping in to say, well done, Tom. Tell you what, I love Queenslanders. I'm a Broncos fan, a Lions fan, and all of a sudden, I'm a Daisy's Rory fan, baby. If I had a badge, I'd pin it on. There you go. There's the final margins and numbers. A neck and a nose, 7 from 2, 6 and 5. That was a heck of a race. Probably the best race of the night.
That's been terrific. We'll take a look at the replay here. Speedy Pie has jumped straight to the lead-off box too. Also early pace there from Ritza Chris as expected. Here we see Daisy's Rory. He hasn't really had all favours in transit. He's had to stay out wide. He got a little bit of a bump there early. He started to wind up, but at this point I still didn't really think he was going to get there.
Well, it's a tricky spot there. You can see False Witness. That caught my eye, him going back through the field. So he's clipped heels and his race was over, but now Daisy's Rory, look at him, just really loping along out there. He was caught wide the trip, so it's a hell of an effort. The eventual time, 29.53. So, look, a better beginning, a better draw, better luck. He's a 29.23 dog. That's good enough to win the Ladbrokes $1 million chase final. We can see here, absolute speed machines out in front. We thought this is the way the race would play out, but look at that. 4 wide, 5 wide, through the bend, through the catching pen, and I think Tommy said it after the race. Hadn't given up, but was certainly thinking he's going to have to do it the hard way.
The first race tonight where we've seen a greyhound come from behind as well, whether or not that's a racing pattern or just a reflection on how the races have panned out. I'm very glad to see him get through to the final. I think he's going to add a little bit of star quality as well. Yeah,
it is interesting as well. Those 2 dogs on the inside, noted speedsters early. We mentioned Ritza Chris still developing and strengthening up, and Speedy Pie often that last 20 metres just finds her wanting at times. Let's have a look head on. It's great to watch them jump out of the boxes, isn't it? You can see the squeezes on there between the 3, 4, 5 and 6 as they all come together, and Dacey's Rory actually got a pretty good run to the first bend, didn't he? Untouched out there while everything else just clamours in behind. It's remarkable, the strength and poise of some of these dogs as they hurtle towards this first bend, and we've had some wonderful racing tonight. That takes the cake for me. Dacey's Rory, the pride of Queensland, after Jay's Jay was the first banana bender to win the race a couple of years ago. G'day to the Zammit family if they're watching at home. Who could forget that interview? Selena Zammit couldn't talk. It wasn't an interview. It was just almost a mute out there, overcome with emotion. Let's have a look from behind. There's Trish Shaker first to give Tommy Zavelis a pat on the back. Jay Smagri lamenting another close shave for his chaser, and Tommy breathing a big sigh of relief for this wonderful dog, Dacey's Rory. Phoenix place getter as well, guys, last year. Now going through to the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. G'day to you. Thanks for your joining us throughout the night on thedogs.com.au. We've only got one race to go. Simon, Liz, Jared, I'm not going to jump too far ahead, but just quickly, highlights so far for you, Liz, and I want Jared, you to think about who should be favourite for the big one next week.
Highlights in terms of races overall, I thought that Without a Trace back in race 2 and ahead of the Sydney Cup final was an absolute standout. I think she's going to be really hard to beat in the final next week, and I guess just now Dacey's Rory I thought was very impressive. Clearly not as fast as some of the semis that we've seen tonight, but that was a very good, strong performance just now.
Spot on. J-Bone, if you had to frame the market right now?
Well, it's turning into a really fascinating betting race, this one, isn't it, Simon? I think the way that Power and Glory won from box number 8, very, very impressive. Earlier in the program, Ariza Sparkles, very, very good as well. Then I think Dacey's Rory there has really roared into contention as well. I think those three would be my top 3. Power and Glory just on top for mine.
Yeah, we've got a bit of everything for people to look forward to. Some dogs that are emerging, some dogs that are firmly at the top of the mountain, and we've got dogs from all over Victoria, Queensland and New South Wales represented already in the final. Who will join them? We'll find out on the other side of this small break, where we'll wrap it all up with race 10, the last semi from here at Wentworth Park.
Hey guys, Teddy and Mitch here, and Dogs are giving you a chance to win a Kia Tasman Ute with over $50,000.
Just get down to Wentworth Park on $1 Million Chase night, kick the footy in the boot, and you can win.
Kick the footy in the boot and win a Kia Tasman Ute. Wentworth Park, Friday, October 17 at the $1 Million Chase.
That one. Did you get that one? That was first go as well. Typical halfback.
Careful, mate. Don't want to tip that table. On this wonderful night, Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final night. We've had a whole heap of fun. Myself, Simon Orchard, Liz Whelan and Jared Timms, and let's take you through some of the highlights of the night. This was Ariza Sparkles in the opening semi, and boy, was she absolutely brilliant. 29.17 for Stevie Fitch. Spoiler alert, Cumbria Jack didn't get up later on, but he's still got one through to the final. Good on him. Zipping Aerial for Courtney Barnes. She was happy as Larry after Aerial got through to the final, about 29.4 or thereabouts, and probably the biggest race, without a doubt, that Courtney will be in, an emerging star of our sport. Foreign Capital for Vic Sultana. This was a good run up the inside, just while everyone else was jostling out wide. He said, I'll go into the $1 million race. Don't worry about me. Straight in at a big price as well. The punters have had, well, a little bit of a rough night, but hopefully we can rally in the last. There's Darren Sultana there. Kenya Sapphire got a run after a scratching. That's why she's wearing the number 9 bib, and she just burned, baby, burned. Jace Magri was stoked with that. He's through to another big dance. He had Zipping Megatron last year. This bloke's probably the star of the show and maybe the story of the night, albeit we probably thought this would happen anyway. Power and Glory for Kenny Burnett, reigning Ladbrokes Golden Easter egg winner. And now he'll probably start a favourite in the Ladbrokes $1 million chase for 2025. Kenny Bailey and my boy Bingo. Would you believe it? It's a long drive up the Hume from down there in Victoria, but it's a lot easier when you're through to a $1 million race. That's Cumbria Jack on his tail, the best dog in Australia. And my boy Bingo said, hold my dog tray. While Daisy's Rory in the last semi-final, if you've been joining us the last 10 minutes, this is a hell of a win. Maybe the best win of the night, coming from off the pace, which not a lot of greyhounds have done tonight, and the Queensland superstar gets his way into another final. He's almost earned $500,000. He could double that next week with a win in the Ladbrokes $1 million chase for Tommy Zavelis. He won the 7.15 earlier this year. Gee whiz, it'd be a big, big result if he could take out the Ladbrokes $1 million chase here next week, Friday, October 17 at Wentworth Park. Let's have a look at race number 10 on the program. It's the final race tonight. It's our last semi-final. We're just under 8 minutes away. Jared, you've done a wonderful job for laddies here tonight. Can you help us find a winner in the last? Talk us through the market.
Well, it's a tough way to end the night from a betting perspective if this Ladbrokes market is to be believed, Simon. We're betting $4.80 to field here with 4 joint favourites now, would you believe, destroying $4.80. Poor Oswald. How about this push for Winsome Jet, who Minnie Finn maybe gave a little bit of a push to at the beginning of the broadcast? Was a $9.50 chance, $6.50 into that $4.80 quote now, and is your Ladbrokes market mover as well. So a very, very good push there for Winsome Jet, but they've backed them pretty much across the board here. We're looking at $4.80 joint favourites, and a case to be made for pretty much all of them. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
You've mentioned Winsome Jet, and I think he makes the race here. He comes into box 1 off the ballot. When I spoke to Minnie Finn earlier in the week, she said that he thought it was a really good chance here off the 1. He's so young, he doesn't turn 2 until February, but he's a good chance of leading here. And poor Oswald out wide, also a good chance of being up on the pace, although Mark Delbridge once again not happy with the draw being out wide.
Gee, it's an intriguing race. You guys have laid it all out. The market reflects that, having a $4.60 favourite at the moment in Winsome Jet. Really interesting. This bloke had a crack at the City Qualifiers last week. I thought he was there to win the race. He just maybe told a little bit late. I think that was just his second 500 tonight. I've been told he's bounced out of it well, and Minnie was suggesting that people should back him. He was $10 when he got a run in the field, so now into $4.60. It's one hell of a go. Let's talk a little bit more about him. Mentioned his run last week. Liz, you've already said that he's a young dog emerging, but gee, he's put some sparkling performances on the board, hasn't he?
He definitely has, considering the fact that he's only actually had 6 career starts so far. He won his first 4. They were all over the 300 metres at Richmond. Then he stepped up to the 520 metre trip, and I thought that was particularly impressive, going 29.54 that day. Box 1 is key. The money is coming as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure has. Hey, let's just jump forward to an interview. Corey Heinrich representing the Daily Kennel. We'll hear from him quickly about smooth play, and then we'll jump back into our runners.
Corey Heinrich, smooth play. You had to wait till the last one, but could be worth the wait, hopefully. I know Blue Camaro last year waited till the last one.
Yeah, it could be an omen, but I would have preferred an earlier race, but I'll take what I can and hopefully he can get the job done.
Good to see him bounce back to form last week. He really showed an impressive side to himself last week.
Yeah, he drew a good box last week. I mean, he likes him inside. He doesn't cut to the rail or anything hard, but just likes to be a bit closer to the rail. So I don't know how box 6 will do him tonight, but see how we go.
Looks on paper a good open sort of a race. There are a few chances, including yourself. That's obviously got to be a good thing. If there was a lot of speed inside, then it could perhaps be a problem, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think tonight, I think he'll give it his best shot tonight, and as you said, since it's not too much pace on the inside, he might be able to get up there a bit earlier and be able to come home like he did, he has before. So
it'll make the car ride a lot better all the way home if he does happen to qualify for next week.
Yes, exactly right. Except I'll probably have to come next week. So anyway, see how we go.
You could come and collect another $1 million. That'd be handy.
Yeah, well, that's my aim.
Good luck tonight. Congratulations on getting this far.
Thanks very much.
Connections of smooth playing there as we work our way through the runners in Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase semi-final number 8. This is it, last chance saloon, last dog to go through to next week's $1 Million final. We got up to number 2, Destroying, for Jody and Andy Lord. This dog finally draws a box, Liz, and Andy Lord says he chases like no other.
Yeah, looks a good chance here off box 2 and what is a really, really hard race to try and figure out here in the last on the program. He clocked 29.60 here 4 starts ago off box 4. He did come out running that day. He also made the final of the Group 1 Vic Peters Classic here back in July. He was also 5th in the Flying Amy Classic at the Q, so he's capable of mixing it with the best, and he's got to be given a winning hope off the 2.
It's almost like they're listening. $5 into $4.50 as you were speaking, so some support for Destroying. Trio of Clowns, got to admit, a lot of people have maybe underrated this dog, myself included. He's come out and won some big races, won a heat of the Blacktop. He's $8.50, $9 as I speak with Ladbrokes. It's a good price.
It is a good price. I think if he lands on the pace and gets a passage through early, he's a winning hope, but he has a risk. He mixes his box manners. Again, really difficult race to try and sort out. It was nearly a year ago. He went 29.57 here, but he's one to be including in first 4s.
The other thing to think about, he loves to go right, a couple of steps. So if you like the 1 or the 2, they're going to have room to move. Is there anything from out wide that can get across? We'll have to wait and see. Cumbria Chrissy, not the profile of Steve Fitch's other runners. As you can see, the dog selections there. They've got Paul Oswald on top, but this girl is improving every run.
She is, and look, this is only her 9th race day start. She's still got it all ahead of her. Stephen Fitch said to me during the week that she's getting better every start and that she's capable of going 29.50. Hopefully she can jump a little bit better tonight and show her best.
The 5 Balmoral Queen for Ange Della Bosca is really honest, probably lacks some of the X factor of other dogs in the race. The Wentworth Park record is not great, but she's always thereabouts.
Yeah, one of the outsiders of the field, but did actually finish 3rd and behind Intrepid Bale in the Ladbrokes Bidgie Cup final at Wagga, and that's turned out to be quite a good poor race. Has only gone 31 last start, and realistically would probably need to show improvement to feature here.
Daily runner, smooth playing in the 6, really nice win last week, 29.59, very classy runner with big race experience.
Yeah, thought that was a terrific performance. He's made a number of group race finals over in Victoria, and he also finished 2nd in the Phoenix in December and behind Explicit. Hard to ignore a daily runner when they come to town, and he's another winning hope.
I'll get a quick thought off Jared Timms here at Ladbrokes about Massaro, because I understand it's a bad result for you if this dog gets up.
Yeah, worst result of the night, in fact, Massaro. Is certainly going into the futures markets for next week's Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. We've seen some very, very big bets on futures markets for Massaro.
Warmed up really well with a good win at Wentworth Park, Liz, and was good through the Maitland MDC series.
I've got him on top in what's a hard race. He's only having his 13th career start tonight, but a few of these are quite inexperienced. I think he already looks very exciting. He came out running off box 5, the win there a couple of weeks ago, and quickly got out to a big lead. I get that this is a harder race, but he did go 29.43 that day, and I think if he lands on the pace, he's potentially the one to beat.
Yeah, he's on the upward curve, and the 8 Poor Oswald, look, horror draw for a dog that does really love racing here. I tipped him early in the series as a dog to watch. I don't like the pink though.
No, and nor does Mark Delbridge. He didn't really rate his chances drawn off box 8. With that being said, it was a really good win here on Saturday night in preparation for this. He clocked 29.57. That was off box 1. He was the winner of the Ladbrokes National Derby final back in January. Does need luck from the draw though.
I'm with Winsome Jet, but I really did like the price of $10 a couple of days ago. Now $4.20 or more than half, so that's a bit tougher to take. Liz's lock.
Massaro here, hopefully he comes out running.
And Jared, market mover and tip from you, mate, in the last.
Really, really good push for Winsome Jet. Is your $4.20 market mover to sit on the top line of betting. Massaro on top for me as well, but I actually liked Trio of Clowns at $7.50 each way, so I really like the $10 that he's trading at now.
Yeah, someone knows something about Winsome Jet, and Mini Finn can time them to perfection. A dog that's still very much learning the caper. Only 6 starts. Last week was his first ever loss. Tonight he gets the red. He'll be in the 9 bib. Tell you what, haven't said a lot about Destroying, a dog that finally, as I mentioned, gets down near the rail, and if Trio of Clowns just gives these two a bit of room to move, it could be 2 rising stars locking horns and going head to head. We're just waiting here, slowly getting towards the boxes, just a little bit behind race time. But this is it, the last chance for someone to get through to next week's Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. 7 dogs are through, 1 will join them. Who will it be? We'll find out in about a minute's time. Russell Veach has called the action brilliantly all night. Let's throw up to him for the last semi.
Thank you, Nate. So 1 spot remaining. Destroying's been back 5 to 4.20. And how about the move for the youngster Winsome Jet, only having its 7-star tonight. It's 1-5 from 6 thus far for Mini Finn. Courtney Barnes places the Greyhound in. Number 9 from box 1, 8 to 4s. And they're set for the last hurrah for the semi-finals. MDC racing, and Winsome Jet was slowly into stride. Destroying begin okay out wide. Poor Oswald. They'll go up and eyeball each other to the first corner. Smooth Playing got a lovely run through into third placing underneath of Poor Oswald now. Then came Massaro. Further back in the race came Balmoral Queen. Cumbria Chrissy's a minute back. So too is Trio of Clowns coming off the back and destroying the leader. Out wider with Poor Oswald, and Winsome Jet's trying to get through. Just in front is Destroying, kicking on the inside. Smooth Playing, and out wider Poor Oswald. Oh, great go. Smooth Playing perhaps from Poor Oswald in a great race. Destroying got third. Winsome Jet got third in front of Destroying late in the piece. And then a photo behind them came Massario, Cumbria Chrissy, and Trio of Clowns. And the time 29.65. It is kick back to win, Smooth Playing.
He's kicked back indeed. Russ with a great call. Smooth Playing on the inside. Holy cow. Have a go at that. Barely a margin. Half a nose, I reckon, for Smooth Playing. Poor Oswald. Stiff, I reckon. Great run from Smooth Playing, but Poor Oswald wide throughout from box 8. Did all the hard work and pushed wide on the final bend, and here comes Smooth Playing, just sneaking up the rail. Great result for the Dailies. Well done. Some of the best in the business for them. They're through to the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. Another belter, Liz.
That was a terrific performance there. I thought that Poor Oswald had it won, but wow, Smooth Playing has been really strong, really tenacious. I got the rails there too. It's just poked up there on the inside. We can see Destroying, who was up there as well. Just a bit of bumping there in the home straight, and right on the line, Smooth Playing has come back to win.
Yeah, that bump halfway down the straight cost Poor Oswald the race. There's the final margin ahead. 6, 8, 9 and 2. So Winsome Jet gets in for third, and Destroying, who was pretty bold out in front for a while, finishes the frame. Mick Cowley is with Connections trackside of Smooth Playing.
I am indeed, Simon. I'm with Corey Heinrich. Deja vu all over again, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Blue Camaro last qualifier last year. Smooth Playing last qualifier this year. What were your thoughts in the run? Up the back, it looked as though things might pan out, but then it kind of changed a bit.
Yeah, he was sitting a bit closer than he was sitting quite close, and I thought, oh, he's quite strong, so he could get there here. And then something happened. I'd have to watch a replay. I don't even know. And then he come bursting through, and I thought, oh my God. Then he almost got done on the line. It was good though. It was good.
You mentioned earlier that if you got through, you're going to have to drive back next week. You've got to make the trip again now.
Yeah, well, as I said, that's the reason we're here, and I guess it's bittersweet, isn't it?
Last year, it was a remarkable evening. The Ben Pert, the celebrations with Josh, obviously. A little bit different, obviously, because it's Tom and Andrea this time, but you're all part of it, so it's one big team, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Even last year, it's Josh and I's dog, but there's a massive team at home, and to say we do it on our own is not the case. It's a massive team effort, and last year, I think everyone in the camp was as happy as we were, and I guess it'll be the same this year.
Dailies have won a lot of big races. This is one they haven't as yet. What would it mean, do you think, for Tom and Andrea to win this one?
Tom would probably just want to get one up on me, so probably a lot. No, they work hard and they deserve every ounce of success that they get. So to take something out like this, especially at the age you're at now, would probably be the icing on top.
Drive carefully. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Well done.
Thanks.
Great character there, Corey Heinrich, of course. Mick Cowley alluding to last year's victory for Joshy Formosa and Blue Camaro. And there we go, the token handshake tonight. Smooth Playing, the last dog through to the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final, joins Ariza Sparkle, Zipping Aerial, Foreign Capital, Kenya Sapphire, Power and Glory, Daysees Rory, and My Boy Bingo. The field is set for the 8th ever edition of the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Let's have another look at this replay. Smooth Playing, wow, out the back there in the 6 bib. got down to the rail and just poked along until eventually a gap opened up.
Really good performance there. Destroying came out running. So did poor Oswald when he tried to get across. He couldn't quite get across. Probably would have got through if he had managed to. And just here we start to see Smooth Plane really starting to pick a passage through on the rails when it counts.
Destroying there, just easing off the fence just a little bit. Just told late, maybe fitness for a young greyhound still coming through the ranks. But, gee, it's a great finish. And poor Oswald and Mark Delbridge can be proud of their effort, but full credit to the winner. Gets bumped out here or squeezed through the back and then finds a really good spot in behind two, let's say, inexperienced greyhounds still learning their caper. Win some jet on the fence in the 9 and Destroying in the 2. And you can see the pink, poor Oswald, just bowling along, I should say, 3 wide, and here comes Smooth Plane, poking his nose through. We heard pre-race, Liz, I think you read off some of the accolades, proven group-level performer. Probably a dog that's flown under the radar from being not quite a superstar, but almost a superstar. Is that fair?
I think that's definitely fair. He's made multiple group race finals in Victoria, and when you look at the Phoenix last year as well, Explicit won that race, Smooth Plane finished second, Dacey's Rory came third, so 2 of those runners now through to the final of the $1 Million Chase.
Yeah, spot on. We can't wait for the box draw. It'll be Sunday. We've got a Calcutta and a box draw right here in Sydney for the Sydney Cup and the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. Markets will be available. Look at that. It's a mess as they head towards the first bend for a couple of greyhounds there, but they all do well to stay up and get through to the pen. Let's have a look back at what a brilliant night it's been here at Wentworth Park. We've had a lot of fun, but also we've crowned some rising stars and we've seen some absolute superstars strut their stuff here at Wenty Park as they try and get through to next week's Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase final. Here's the first semi-final winner, Ariza Sparkles for Steve Fitch, and she was brilliant away, the 6 rug, 29.17. Mentioned a couple of times across the broadcast tonight, she becomes the fastest bitch here at Wentworth Park ever, which is a great feather in her cap. The Group 1 Dapto Megastar winner, Zipping Aerial. Well, she caused maybe the first mini boil over of the night. She got through for Courtney Barnes and she was really happy about it. The heir apparent to Minnie Finn does a lot of hard yakka behind the scenes. Congratulations to her. Foreign Capital. Well, he bloused them late up the inside, got a saloon passage, a dog that's been thereabouts for Vic Sultana, and we mentioned Skywave back in the inaugural edition of the $1 Million Chase. Mystic Right won that race for Pete Lagagioni, but Skywave and Vic Sultana ran third, and Foreign Capital continues the great run for the Sultana camp. Kenya Sapphire for Jace Magri. She got out, she led, she got on the arm, and she just ran him into the dust. Congratulations to her. Power and Glory, the Pink Flash. How good was it to see him just high-balling up the back straight here at Wentworth Park and powering his way to the line, pun intended. Ken Burnett loved it, but he knows what this dog is capable of, and maybe next week he can win another big race here at Wentworth Park. My boy Bingo, well, he fended off Cumbria Jack. Many people say he is the best dog in Australia at the moment, and he could not reel him in. There was a massive margin, about 6 lengths back to the rest of the field, but that's a name to circle, Black Book, and watch. My boy Bingo for Kenny Bailey. Dacey's Rory, well, we thought this was the race of the night. Managed to pinch 2 speedsters, Speedy Pie and Ritza Chris on the line. Just got his head down in time for Tommy Zavellis, and he's already won a big race here, maybe taking the riches back to Queensland next year. And of course the last winner, Smooth Plane, punching along the fence for Tom and Andrea Daly. They have done almost everything there is to do in this sport. This race eludes them. Next week they've got a 1 in 8 chance of winning the Ladbrokes $1 Million Chase. So there you go, the final is set. 8 runners, $1 million, about 29.2 or 3 seconds worth of work. But we know so much more hard yakka goes into producing these greyhounds on a night like this, and especially next week. Friday, October 17 here at Wentworth Park. Make sure you get trackside if you can. Plenty to see and do. I'd like to thank Jared Timms, Liz Whelan. We got Mick Cowley trackside as well. We say a big cheerio to him. But for you guys, just quickly, I want a tip for next week's $1 Million Chase final. Who are you with?
Well, no pressure. Power and Glory, but I do have a soft spot for Dacey's Rory.
Yeah, fair enough. Jared?
Ariza Sparkles for me. Steve Fitch unlucky not to get 2 into the final. I think she can win for him.
Yeah, she's a rising star, already a Group 1 winner. Everyone behind the cameras in the truck and everyone back home working on our socials, a big thank you to you. We couldn't do it without you. We'll be back next week. Tonight was the pipe cleaner for us, the warm-up. But Friday, October 17, get down to Wenty Park. It's going to be one hell of a party. We'll see you next week.